The legendary NPC descended into the human world, and everyone was stunned by her beauty. Yet some men dared to flirt with her openly, even claiming they wanted the goddess NPC to give them a child. And in the next second, they were erased on the spot, leaving the crowd frozen in terror, while Lin Jichin stepped forward respectfully, because he alone understood that to obtain a good talent early in the game, he had to act as the loyal bootlicker of goddess NPC. 2.5 years earlier, a game called Bahuang swept across the world, and everyone thought it was just a normal game, until one day, the game world merged with reality, and all humans had to cultivate within the game to stay alive. In his previous life, he groveled over Guo Jie for 10 long years, even helping her search for the legendary double fish jade pendant, only to be severely injured by a world-class boss. And what he got in return was her betrayal with his so-called brother, who seized the chance to steal his storage ring, and even played cards with her right in front of him, and he thought he would die filled with resentment. But the double fish jade pendant he had found earlier actually brought him back to the day before the game launched. And thankfully, he hadn't stored the pendant in his ring. Otherwise, it would have fallen into the hands of those two scumbags. Now reborn, he swore they would pay a terrible price. Suddenly, a phone call snapped him out of his thoughts. It was his childhood friend, and in his previous life, she was the one who saw Guo Jie kissing another man on the street. Yet he lashed out at her and never spoke to her again. Feeling guilty, he apologized, and his unexpected apology left Ren Lan stunned for a moment. But she still told him about Guo Jie's cheating, and he simply replied that he already knew, and his calm tone worried Ren Lan. She begged him not to do anything foolish and reassured him someone better would come along. But Lin Jichin shifted the topic to the currently trending game, Bahuang, and said he wanted to become a professional player in it. And Ren Lan happily replied that she remembered he had always been good at games. If he could carve out a future in Bahuang, his prospects would be limitless. Since he was fine, she would hang up now. But hearing that, Lin Jichin quickly told her not to hang up yet, and awkwardly asked if he could borrow some startup money. And Ren Lan immediately exploded, saying it was his fault for pretending to be generous yesterday, spending months of salary on an expensive gift for Guo Jie when even she, his childhood friend, had never received anything. She told him to get lost, and then she hung up on him directly, leaving Lin Jichin regretful, wishing he had been reborn just one day earlier. But the next second, his phone played a transfer notification, and Ren Lan still lent him her secret savings, warning him that if he dared not repay her, she would beat him up, warming his heart instantly. He replied that she could rest assured he would repay her on time, and afterward, he bought the necessary equipment, preparing to enter Bahuang. And once the identity verification succeeded, he finally returned to the place where his dream began. And at that moment, a brilliant figure descended from the sky. She was none other than Yuhua, the AI brain of the game. Yet the crowd mistook her for a normal NPC and began shouting nonsense, saying they wanted her to give them a child, leaving Lin Jichin speechless. How dare they harbor improper thoughts toward goddess NPC? And sure enough, the next second, NPC threw the disrespectful players into a spatial rift, and chaos immediately broke out, no one daring to approach, while Lin Jichin walked forward respectfully, because to earn the favor of goddess NPC, one needed sincerity, and NPC admired him, saying he was the only one who knew proper manners. And Lin Jichin then introduced himself, saying his name was Lin Jichin and asking her to grant him a talent. And hearing that, NPC spoke no further and said she would grant him a chance. And in the next moment, a red light enveloped him. He thought he would receive the same business prodigy talent as in his previous life. But unexpectedly, in this life he obtained a heaven-defying innate talent that could rewrite fate. At this moment, Goddess NPC said that his talent had been granted, and the next step was to choose his appearance. And Lin Jichin immediately selected the most attractive character model, because in Bahuang, the higher the appearance score, the easier it was to gain NPC favor, making quest-taking and getting strong allies far easier, and sometimes even causing NPCs to fight over who would dual cultivate with you. And once he finished customizing his face, the next step was choosing a birthplace. And the 4 locations on the map represented the main Bahuang classes: Mage Cultivator, Healer Cultivator, Craftsman Cultivator, and Body Cultivator. And in his previous life, he chose the mage path he hated the most, all because of Guojia. But in this life, he would become the strongest sword cultivator, riding the wind, meeting the sword, roaming the world freely. And soon, he arrived at the novice village, where many players had already begun forming teams for quests. And seeing the familiar crowd again filled him with nostalgia. And everyone rushed toward an elderly NPC, hoping that chatting more might trigger a hidden quest. But Lin Jichin only smirked. How could a hidden quest possibly be placed on such an obvious NPC? Suddenly, someone called out from behind him, "Little brother, wait a moment." She introduced herself as Chuan Yang, the owner of the village's tailoring shop, asking whether he wanted a quest and saying she could arrange things for him. And then she even wrapped her arm around him, saying her husband had died 5 years ago and she'd been single ever since. If quests were too difficult, she could even accompany him. Did he want to take a quest from her? The surrounding players fell into stunned silence. And faced with the bold advances of a widow, Lin Jichin's Dao heart almost wavered. But he immediately replied, "Next time, for sure," saying he still had important matters to attend to. After all, in this life he returned to become a sword cultivator. How could he start by indulging in beauty? Soon, Lin Jichin arrived at a secluded blacksmith shop, where only an elderly man was hammering away at the forge. And everyone who had been there assumed the old man was deaf. But after Lin Jichin helped increase the fire's heat, the problem that had troubled the blacksmith for a long time was instantly resolved. As it turned out, his apprentice usually controlled the fire, but today the apprentice wasn't around, so the weapon kept failing to take shape. And to thank him, the blacksmith told Lin Jichin to pick any weapon to borrow for a day. And ordinary beginners would think this reward was stingy and give up on the quest. But Lin Jichin knew the real reward was coming later. And sure enough, after he selected his weapon, the blacksmith immediately assigned him a quest. If he could find 10 pairs of bamboo viper fangs within one day, he would grant him a special opportunity. And Lin Jichin agreed instantly. And when people saw him walk out carrying a sword, they were confused. So when they asked how he managed it, he told them the blacksmith was heartbroken after separating from his wife, and singing a love song would move him. And upon hearing that, the crowd looked at each other, thinking, is it really that simple? And they immediately began singing on the spot, while the blacksmith inside was trembling with anger. And the players were confused. What? Do we need some kind of password? And the next second, the blacksmith raised his hammer and told them all to get lost, only then realizing they'd been tricked. And by the time they wanted to find Lin Jichin for revenge, he was already over 100 meters away, when suddenly a green snake lunged at him. But in the next moment, several blue flashes appeared around the snake. And in an instant, the snake was killed by him, and his cultivation level also began rising, because with his maxed innate fortune stat, even though gear drop rates in Bahuang were extremely low, he could still obtain lots of equipment. And so he began farming like crazy, and soon he gained a massive haul. Not only the required 10 pairs of fangs, but over 100 poison arrows and plenty of copper coins. And afterward, he handed all materials to the blacksmith. And once the blacksmith confirmed everything, he gave Lin Jichin a letter. This was the opportunity from the blacksmith quest and a required item for joining the sword sect. And Lin Jichin then quietly asked the blacksmith whether anyone else had received the letter quest. And hearing that he was the only one, he was completely relieved. Next step was joining the sect. But before that, he planned to sell his extra equipment, shouting, "Come take a look," selling the number 1 green snake bow in the entire server. If it weren't to save money for marriage, I wouldn't sell it. And players rushed to bid. Some offered 1,000, others 3,000. And then a girl directly offered 50,000. And Lin Jichin felt the price was perfect, when suddenly another voice raised the bid to 60,000. And it turned out to be Wang Jinghao, the guild leader of Eternal Epic. And this guy was all too familiar to Lin Jichin, because in his previous life, after rejecting their guild's invitation, they kept causing trouble for him. And now the man extended an olive branch again, saying, "I heard Brother Lin is selling gear just to save up for a wife. How about this? Whatever amount you're short of, I'll cover it. Let's be friends." And upon hearing that, Lin Jichin broke into a cold sweat, refusing immediately, saying he only needed to sell the bow at a good price, secretly regretting having made up that ridiculous excuse. And Wang Jinghao nodded understandingly, placing his hand on the bow. "Then our guild will take this bow." But the girl beside them was displeased and raised her bid to 70,000. And Wang Jinghao instantly bid 100,000, while the girl refused to back down and jumped straight to 200,000. And as the two kept bidding until the price reached 300,000, Lin Jichin was thoroughly entertained, curious which major guild that beautiful woman belonged to. She wasn't giving Wang Jinghao any face at all, and her next bid shocked him even more. She waved her hand and raised the price to 500,000. Hearing that, Wang Jinghao began sweating heavily. Realizing he didn't have enough money, he quickly brought up the name of Eternal Epic Guild to exert pressure. But the girl didn't care at all. Instead, she sneered, "If you don't have the strength, stop shouting. Highest bid wins, understand?" And hearing that, Wang Jinghao became furious. And just as he was about to leave, Lin Jichin stopped him, saying he had long admired Eternal Epic, and if Brother Wang was willing to pay 500,000, he would sell him the bow. And Wang Jinghao, seeing that he knew how to behave, immediately changed his attitude and spoke warmly. "If Brother Lin ever faces difficulties, Eternal Epic will surely help. Give me your account number. I'll transfer it right now." Little did he know that Lin Jichin only wanted to leave a good impression so he could scam him later. And at that moment, Wang Jinghao was practically smiling from ear to ear, loudly mocking the pink-haired girl, while Lin Jichin kept laughing inwardly, spending 500,000 just for face, truly rich and foolish. And once he used the bow a few times, he would understand poison arrows were limited, and more importantly, the bow would actually slow down his newbie quests. Of course, Lin Jichin knew he had offended the rich girl, who angrily called him a lapdog of the Wand group, accusing him of going back on his word. Seeing how furious they were, he decided to find a way to make up for it. So while they split up to hunt wild boars, he walked up to the girl from earlier and said, "Can we talk alone? I only need 2 minutes." Su Wanling assumed he had simply been fooled by Wang Jinghao and was planning to warn him. But the next second, Lin Jichin dropped a bombshell. "Girl, I've got top secret info here, 50,000, and it's yours. This intel can put your entire guild far ahead." Hearing that, Su Wanling clearly didn't believe him. "If it's so important, why didn't you sell it to Wang Jinghao? Weren't you eager for his favor?" Lin Jichin nearly laughed, quickly explaining that he had only been acting for show. But Su Wanling remained wary of how quickly he had flipped sides. So he directly pulled up his account page, saying, "Money first, info after." "Lin, don't break my word." Faced with the chance to outpace other guilds, Su Wanling decisively agreed. He then told her not to hunt wild boars, but to go accept the weapons shop quest immediately. But she didn't believe him at all. After all, the blacksmith quest was impossible to trigger. Yet Lin Jichin insisted, "You're doing it wrong. If you help the blacksmith pump his bellows for 5 minutes, the quest will unlock." When she still doubted him, he showed her the sect entry letter, saying this was the quest reward. Su Wanling was stunned. Having that letter meant she could join a sect. But she still had one question. Why would he sell such crucial intel specifically to her? Lin Jichin simply smiled. "Maybe because you're cute." And Su Wanling's cheeks flushed bright red, when suddenly a desperate cry echoed nearby. Her teammates had accidentally run into the strongest boss of the newbie village. Su Wanling immediately ordered them to retreat. They didn't have the manpower to kill that boss. But Lin Jichin strode forward. "Since you're not taking this boss, I won't be polite. Oh, and beautiful lady, my bow is sold. Mind lending me your sword?" Su Wanling tossed her sword to him at once. "Suit yourself." Thanking her, Lin Jichin rushed straight toward the Boar King. The girls watching all thought Lin Jichin was doomed. Some even joked that he must be trying to chase Sister Wanling, which was why he was showing off in front of her. And Su Wanling's face instantly turned red as she ordered her teammates not to talk nonsense. She would never like that big bad guy. Meanwhile, after Lin Jichin stabbed the Boar King's weak point with full force, the monster not only didn't lose HP, but almost sent him flying. Proving brute force wouldn't work, It was time for his real ultimate move, which was running away. The girls burst into laughter, convinced he was simply scared, and Su Wanling blamed him a little. Who told that idiot to show off? Fortunately, he still had newbie protection. But what happened next stunned them all. Just before crashing into the rock wall, Lin Jichin flipped backward in midair, while the Boar King, unable to stop, smashed directly into the rock wall, even breaking off its tusks. As rocks tumbled down, its HP plummeted, and its one solid defense finally revealed a weakness. Su Wanling and the others were shocked. That works? And Lin Jichin grinned wickedly. Little bad pig, here I come, then dashed straight toward the boss, slashing it wildly, only for the Boar King to suddenly stand back up. But Lin Jichin reacted quickly and barely dodged in time, leading to yet another round of running in circles, until the heavy Boar King once again rammed into the rock wall. And this time Lin Jichin was ready. He thrust directly at its weakest spot, the head, finally bringing down the newbie village's boss. And his cultivation rose to the chi refining early stage. Then his fate-reversing innate talent activated, doubling all his stats. He also obtained a random talent, Blood Seed, increasing his HP by 10% and upgradable 3 times. Perfect for a squishy early game body. Others at early chi refining had only 1,000 HP, but he now had 2,000. Having stepped into the chi refining stage, Lin Jichin had become a true cultivator. Suddenly, the system popped up. Congratulations on achieving the first global kill of a novice village boss in 8 desolations. A worldwide announcement will be made. Hide your name? But Lin Jichin went completely off script and chose not to hide it. And the server-wide announcement instantly broadcast his achievement. Everyone assumed he must be an elite player from some major guild, and Su Wanling firmly remembered his name at that moment. Because of his fate-reversing talent, he received a massive amount of rewards. But the side effect of that talent, Heavenly Tribulation, was also about to descend. Normally, players only trigger Tribulation when breaking through a major realm, but he had a 100% chance. He had to hurry to the sect. Maybe some powerhouse could save him. Seeing him about to leave, Su Wanling quickly said, "Add me as a friend. If you get good gear later, you can sell it to us for a fair price." Lin Jichin agreed instantly, sent her his ID, and ran for his life. He soon reached the sect's location, but the tribulation cloud followed closely behind. Onlookers were confused as to why he was sprinting so desperately. But the next second, they fell silent as the clear sky suddenly turned dark. The dramatic change quickly attracted the attention of the sect's higher-ups. The one who arrived was the sect master of the Sword Sect, the Violet Robe Fairy. With a single glance, she saw someone was facing a heavenly tribulation. A tribulation omen. Could it be a personal disciple of one of the elders breaking through? But the elders all looked at each other. They had no idea. Then suddenly, a loud voice rang out. New disciple Lin Jichin, begging all seniors for help. The moment he shouted, a massive bolt of lightning descended toward him. At the critical moment, he raised his sect entry letter. The sect master flicked her sleeve, and a powerful barrier instantly blocked the tribulation strike. As the dark clouds gradually dispersed, Lin Jichin finally breathed a long sigh of relief. But the elders could not stay calm. Someone at the early chi refining stage bringing down a tribulation meant this boy was a prodigy, and they began competing to take him as their disciple. Truly, coming to the sect first was the smartest move. He avoided the tribulation and was now being fought over. But what he never expected was that the sect master, who never accepted disciples, wanted to take him in personally. The elders were all shocked, and the sect master stepped before him, asking, Lin Jichin, are you willing to become my final personal disciple? Meanwhile, the system appeared. You have triggered Tianyan Sect's greatest opportunity. Current sect master Lung Fian wishes to take you as her final disciple. Accept? Lin Jichin instantly accepted. Disciple is willing. Greetings, master. Inside, he was ecstatic. He hadn't expected to latch onto the strongest thigh the moment he joined the sect. No, wait. Master Fian's legs were slender, pale, and incredibly long. Soon, he was brought into the core area of Tianyin sect. After giving a few instructions, his master told him to meet her at the main hall at dawn the next day, then left. Yet he waited 2.5 hours and didn't even see the shadow of a disciple. So he decided to look around while seeing if he could trigger a hidden quest. Before long, a unique palace building caught his attention. He pushed the door open and unexpectedly walked right into his master bathing and changing clothes. Cold sweat poured down his back. He had barged into the sect master's personal palace. Before he could apologize, a sharp attack flew straight at him. His HP instantly dropped to critical. Master Lung scolded him angrily. "Who allowed you to trespass into my palace?" Lin Jichin hurriedly explained that he hadn't seen the disciple she arranged, so he was familiarizing himself with the area and entered by mistake. Seeing he truly wasn't intentional, she forgave his offense, tossing him a pill casually. "Without my permission, you are never to enter this place again. Do not repeat this." Looking at the pill in his hand, he was stunned. His master was so generous that even a casual toss was a Xian-grade high-tier pill. He quickly thanked her and stored the pill immediately. He couldn't bear to consume something that valuable. Suddenly, a voice called out, "Little junior brother, come greet your senior sister." It was Nangong Yu, the guide assigned by his master. Lin Jichin quickly greeted her. His politeness made Nangong Yu very satisfied. "From now on, if anything happens, senior sister will cover you." And he showered her with compliments again, making her laugh out loud. "Junior brother, you're really funny," and her favorability toward him rose to 15 points. Compared to Master Lung Fian, this Nangong Yu senior sister seemed much easier to get along with. And the favorability system between players and NPCs differed greatly. The higher the rapport, the more hidden quests and opportunities could be triggered. Usually, reaching affection allowed physical contact, and reaching harmonious resonance even unlocked dual cultivation. But suddenly, Lin Jichin coughed up blood. Nangong Yu rushed over, worried. "What happened to you?" Lin Jichin thought, "Since my internal injury is connected to this senior sister anyway, I might as well use her goodwill to see if I can get some compensation." Lin Jichin calmly explained to her what had just happened. When she learned that her junior brother was badly injured because she had been distracted by her own playful behavior, guilt washed over her. She immediately shoved a chi-replenishing pill into his hand. "It's all my fault. If I hadn't been so absorbed in my romance novel, you wouldn't have been struck by Master." Lin Jichin quickly reassured her that it wasn't her fault. He had been wandering around carelessly. Seeing him defend her even after suffering such a heavy injury, her favorability toward him rose by another 5 points. "Little junior brother, you're just too kind." She then pulled out a jade pendant as compensation and promised that if he ever needed help, she would support him with everything she had. Lin Jichin immediately recognized it as a top-grade defensive spirit shield pendant, but she proudly said, "This is nothing. I have plenty more treasures." She then led him to the living quarters to receive his beginner gear. Soon, they arrived at the cultivation ground arranged by the master, a Earth-grade spirit gathering array, where meditation and energy absorption were significantly faster. Seeing it, the senior sister couldn't help feeling envious. "My father only has a heaven-grade array at home." Lin Jichin hadn't expected his master to prepare an Earth-grade array specially for him. She waved goodbye. "All right, little junior brother, my task is done. See you later." After parting with her, Lin Jichin began cultivating. With the array's blessing, his meditation speed reached 52 points per hour, dozens of times faster than normal. At this pace, 3 hours of AFK training would max out his early-stage chi-refining cultivation. So he logged out of the game. Looking at the balance deposited into his phone, joy surged through him. In just a little over 5 hours, he had earned 1.6 million. This time, he could finally change his tragic fate. Meanwhile, a stylish woman rode her bike downstairs to his apartment. She was his childhood friend, Ren Lan, who rushed over the moment she received his message. As soon as she entered, she complained, "Why did you call me over this early?" "I was going to the tractor run." Lin Jichin invited her in. "Nothing big, just wanted you to check out my new apartment." Renlan looked around and admitted the place was nice. When she heard the rent was 5,000 to 6,000 a month, she leaned in. "Xiao Linzi, you sure know how to enjoy life." So this is how you spend the gym membership money I gave you. Lin Jichen didn't sense any killing intent at all. He even planned to tease her more. What else can I do? I can't pay you back anyway. Might as well spend it all so you won't think about it. In the next second, Renlon grabbed Lin Jichen by the collar, squeezing his neck as she yelled, "You heartless brat. You really dared to scam my money, huh? Fine. I'll beat you into a pig's head today." But suddenly, Renlan's face flushed red. She seemed to have felt something. The atmosphere instantly turned awkward. Still, she clenched her fist again and shouted, "Lin Jichen, you bastard! How dare you take advantage of your auntie?" Just then, someone knocked on the door. "Mr. Lin, your gaming pod has arrived. Please open the door." Hearing that, Lin Jichen seized the chance to explain that he had earned some money in-game and that the gaming pod was a surprise gift for Renlon. Only then did she calm down. He added, "The school dorm can't fit it, and if you put it your place, your dad would probably smash it. Better leave it here. I saved a room for you. You can play anytime." Renlon instantly brightened. "Deal. No taking it back." She eagerly prepared to show off her brand new gaming pod online. A few hours later, Lin Jichen logged back into the game, and his early stage chi refining progress was already full. His master saw this and praised him. "Not bad. Your talent truly is the best I've seen. In just a few hours, you're about to break through again." She noticed he only needed a pill to advance and took out a top-grade chi gathering pill. "Take this, and you'll break through to mid-stage chi refining." Just as Lin Jichen happily accepted it, his master's tone suddenly changed. "Although your talent is exceptional, remember this. A true powerhouse isn't defined solely by realm and cultivation, but by battle-hardened experience." Having lived a previous life, Lin Jichen deeply understood. Flowers raised in a greenhouse cannot step onto the immortal path. Only trees grown through hardships can strive for eternity. His master was pleased by his steady mindset. Such insight is rare. "You're more composed than I expected." Her favorability toward him increased by 5 points. Lin Jichen was delighted. He had actually gained affection from his cold and aloof master. But he quickly steadied himself. He aimed to become the strongest sword cultivator. He couldn't let emotions shake his Tao heart. His master then said, "Go to the Outer Hall's mission office and choose a difficult task for the Qi refining stage. Complete it, and this spirit-gathering pill will be yours." Before taking on the mission, Master Fian taught Lin Jichen the Tianyin heart method. It was a core technique every disciple of the Tianyin sword sect had to learn. The higher the mastery, the greater the benefit. She hoped he would train diligently. Lin Jichen thanked her immediately. Although all disciples could learn this technique, outer sect disciples had to complete sect missions to qualify, yet he didn't need to. Soon, he went outside the Tianyin sword sect to investigate, where many sharp-eyed players had already discovered the sect-letter quest. But he didn't mind at all. He had already seized the advantage and become an inner disciple. Just then, someone called out to him. It was Su Wanling. She had also joined the sword sect, saying she chose it simply because she liked using swords. Lin Jichen casually responded and told her he still had missions to do. They would talk next time. Her friend sighed, "This handsome guy is so cold. Wanling Jie might have a hard time chasing him." Su Wanling puffed up and retorted, "Who wants to chase him? I don't like him at all." Meanwhile, Lin Jichen stood in line waiting to pick a mission, studying the Tianyin heart method as he waited. After about 2.5 minutes, his number was finally called. He stepped forward and introduced himself. "Disciple Lin Jichen, here to take a mission." The senior sister in charge glanced at his handsome face and couldn't help feeling a bit flustered. "Little handsome one, choose any mission you want, but pick something within your capabilities." Lin Jichen began examining the missions carefully. The easiest ones were herb collection tasks, but aside from experience, they gave no meaningful rewards. The next tier required hunting Qi refining stage, but that wouldn't significantly improve real combat experience either. Then he suddenly noticed a special task token under the held difficulty missions. He chose it without hesitation. Special missions usually meant special rewards. The system notification appeared. Held difficulty mission. Recover the Tianyin sect's lost secret technique and avenge the fallen disciple Zhang Hai. The senior sister leaned closer and warned him, "Little brother, this mission is very difficult. The one who killed Zhang Hai is likely late-stage Qi refining, much higher than you. And the sect rules say if you already have an unfinished mission, you can't take a new one. Hearing he wanted a hell difficulty mission, the onlookers mocked him as a fool. Lin Jichin ignored them completely. He simply thought about who would be slapped in the face later. Soon he arrived at the mission location, Fengxiu City. But the first place he went to was a brothel, because that was where an information broker of 8 desolations resided. The man knew everything happening in the game world and earned money by selling intel to players, and the quest clues began right here. As expected, it didn't take long before the storyteller mentioned that Zhang Hai, a qi refining disciple, had been brutally killed by Zhou Hao, a late-stage qi refining cultivator. When the storytelling ended, Lin Jichin quickly stepped forward to stop him, saying he wanted to buy some information. Most players would rush to the quest location after hearing a clue, but only someone familiar with game mechanics like Lin Jichin knew that detailed clues required payment. The information broker turned around and said, "Want to buy info? No problem. Pay enough, and Li Si, will tell you everything." Lin Jichin immediately paid and asked where Zhou Hao was. After receiving the money, Li Si revealed, Zhou Hao is a lecher and often hangs around Willow Market Street in Fengxiu City. Look for him there. Li Si added, "There's another piece of information important to you, but it'll cost 5 spirit stones." Lin Jichin agreed without hesitation. Li Si then said, Zhou Hao may only be late-stage qi refining, but his older brother, Zhou Shun, is a foundation-stage cultivator. Be careful. Meanwhile, Zhou Hao had just come out of Autumn Moon House. Lin Jichin had already been waiting in the shadows. When Zhou Hao finally walked into a remote forest area, Lin Jichin prepared to strike. Zhou Hao immediately sensed the killing intent directed at him. When Zhou Hao realized Lin Jichin was only at the early stage, qi refining stage, he immediately became arrogant. "You, a piece of trash, think you can fight me? Just because you're from the Tianyan sword sect, you think you can avenge someone?" With that, he charged at Lin Jichin. But Lin Jichin dodged with ease. Zhou Hao spun and launched another strike. Yet Lin Jichin still blocked it effortlessly. Shocked, Zhou Hao shouted, "How can someone at early stage qi refining be this strong?" Lin Jichin replied, "Ever consider the possibility that you're just weak?" Hearing this, Zhou Hao's temper exploded, and he unleashed his strongest skill, Mad Blade Slash. Facing the powerful strike, Lin Jichin didn't panic at all. It was a good chance to test the spirit shield Nangong you had given him. A powerful energy barrier appeared, blocking the attack instantly. Seeing Lin Jichin unharmed, Zhou Hao flew into a frenzy. "Hand over your treasure and kneel to beg for mercy. Maybe I'll spare your life." Lin Jichin was speechless. Where did this idiot get his confidence? Zhou Hao launched another fierce barrage, but Lin Jichin dodged everything with ease. At this point, Zhou Hao panicked completely. If this continues, I'm really going to die in his hands. He quickly pulled back to increase the distance, and Lin Jichin decided it was time to counterattack. In the blink of an eye, he flashed in front of Zhou Hao and slashed, cutting off 90 points of HP. Zhou Hao broke into a cold sweat. Why is that hit so strong? But Lin Jichin didn't stop. Zhou Hao's HP continued to plummet. No wonder he couldn't win. Despite having a late-stage qi refining panel, he was utterly useless. Zhou Hao was now at his limit, and Lin Jichin said coldly, "Weakling, hand over the Tianyan Sword Sect's secret manual, or don't blame me for being ruthless." Terrified, Zhou Hao trembled. "I'll give it, right now." Just then, a sudden slash struck toward Lin Jichin. Fortunately, he reacted instantly and dodged. It turned out Zhou Hao's older brother, Zhou Shun, had arrived. With his backer here, Zhou Hao became arrogant again. "My brother's here. You're dead now." Zhou Shun glared at his useless younger brother and snapped, "Trash. I already told you things are tense right now. You were supposed to stay quietly in the mountains and not come out, but you just wouldn't listen. If I hadn't noticed you were missing, you'd be dead today." Zhou Hao immediately pointed at Lin Jichin and shouted, "Bro, I've been behaving, I swear. I won't dare next time. Hurry and teach him a lesson. He beat me up so badly." Zhou Shun then turned to Lin Jichin and threatened, "Hand over the spirit shield on you right now, and I'll at least let you die quickly. Otherwise, I'll make you wish you were dead." Listening to the brothers' little double act, Lin Jichin only found it funnier. Just as Zhou Hao was about to take some pills to recover his strength, Lin Jichen brought his sword down in a slash toward Zhou Hao's neck. "You beast, you still want to recover HP? Did I say you could?" Zhou Hao collapsed to the ground in agony. Zhou Shun was instantly enraged, but Lin Jichen only sneered. "Villains die from talking too much. Ever heard that? My target from the start was the two of you. Since you came knocking, of course I'm taking you down as well. Now it's your turn, Zhou Shun." Seeing his younger brother's neck cut open, Zhou Shun completely snapped and swung his blade, landing a heavy strike on Lin Jichen. What Lin Jichen hadn't expected was that this one slash actually shaved off 220 HP. He thought, "Great, that's trouble. This Zhou Shun really has some power, way harder to deal with than Zhou Hao." While he was stunned for that split second, Zhou Shun suddenly flickered and appeared right behind him. Fortunately, Lin Jichen reacted fast enough to barely block the strike. Although Zhou Shun was faster, Lin Jichen still had combat experience from his previous life and could usually anticipate and defend in advance. At this moment, however, Zhou Shun was already losing it. A dignified foundation stage cultivator can't even deal with a brat at early stage sheer refining? What a disgrace. He immediately unleashed soul-severing slash to attack again, and that strike took another 300 HP from Lin Jichen. Lin Jichen grimaced inwardly. "If I'd known, I wouldn't have wasted the spirit shield earlier. I could have blocked this hit with it." A head-on clash now would mean certain death, so he decided to kite Zhou Shun for a while with Phantom Step, waiting for the spirit shield's cooldown to end. To his surprise, Zhou Shun suddenly mocked him. "You dare move that slowly in front of me?" With that, he activated Shadow Clone together with Shadow Melt Step. In an instant, 3 figures surrounded Lin Jichen, ready to launch a pincer attack. At that moment, he remembered how he had dealt with this kind of clone technique in his previous life. At a glance, they all looked identical, but if you looked carefully, you could still tell which one was the real body. Sure enough, aside from the Zhou Shun in the middle, whose eyes were just a bit cross-eyed, the other 2 clones didn't even have pupils. Lin Jichen immediately thrust his sword at the one in the middle. To his surprise, not only did the strike deal damage, it also triggered a 5-second armor break effect. Seeing this, he pressed the advantage at once, since armor break reduced the opponent's defense by half. The next second, the damage dealt to the target doubled. Witnessing this, Zhou Shun's rage exploded like a burning cosmos. Before Lin Jichen could steady himself, Zhou Shun's attacks were already pouring in. His terrifying attack speed caused Lin Jichen's HP to plummet. Lin Jichen quickly pulled out the purple jade pill gifted by his master. Because of his innate talent, losing 10% of all attributes upon each death, he had to end the fight quickly. The purple jade pill granted plus 30 to all attributes for 5 minutes and rapidly restored HP. The moment he swallowed it, a refreshing surge washed over him. Zhou Shun, however, mistook it as a final struggle. Laughing when you're about to die? Fine, go to hell and laugh there. He unleashed the Broad Moon Blade technique. Yet the instant the blade touched him, the attack was completely negated by the pill's healing burst, and instead Lin Jichen gained 3,000 HP. Zhou Shun was stunned. So that pill isn't ordinary. But even if you block this, can you block me forever? Lin Jichen didn't bother replying and slashed back. Sure, this pill has a time limit, but I only need to kill you before that. His sudden surge of power made Zhou Shun uneasy, so he switched to defense, planning to stall until the pill's effect wore off. But Lin Jichen had no intention of letting that happen. In the midst of his relentless assault, he gradually grasped the essence of swordsmanship. The sword light grew faster, sharper, more precise. Zhou Shun's HP plummeted in an instant. Realizing he was on the verge of death, Zhou Shun made up his mind. This kid must not leave alive. He's clearly an important disciple of the Tianyin sword sect. If I don't kill him now, it'll bring endless trouble. Zhou Shun steeled himself, sacrificing his own life force and pouring all his power into one blow, activating the soul-chasing strike. However, even that terrifying attack was easily dodged by Lin Jichen using Phantom Step. Zhou Shun froze in disbelief. Before he could react, Lin Jichen appeared right before him and slashed straight at his neck. The strike triggered a critical hit, finishing Zhou Shun off. At the same moment, the system announced, Hell difficulty quest complete. Please return to the sect to claim your reward. The quest turned out insanely profitable. Lin Jichen picked up the dropped gear and prepared to report back. Then he suddenly remembered something important. Moments later, he arrived at the bustling market of Fengxiu City. Since this was his first sect quest, he felt he should buy a gift for his master. Besides, a gift might raise her favorability, though he wasn't sure what to buy. While wandering, he spotted a jade shop. No woman dislikes jewelry, he thought. I'll buy Master a jade hairpin. After purchasing it, he returned to the sect to submit the quest. Seeing this, countless disciples were dumbfounded. Holy, someone actually cleared hell difficulty. The NPC senior sister praised him, little handsome one, worthy of the inner hall's elite. May fortune favor your cultivation. She handed him the rewards. The extra 100 low-grade spirit stones were a bonus. He thanked her and stored everything in his pouch. Disciples immediately surrounded him, begging, saying they could do anything if he would just carry them. Lin Jichen ran for his life. So this is the trouble of being too good. Luckily, two senior brothers blocked the crowd. Dame, don't harass Master's personal disciple. The crowd was shocked. No wonder he was so strong. He was a super elite. Soon after, he entered his master's residence. She asked, I heard you completed the hell difficulty quest? Lung Fian seemed displeased. I told you to take the difficult tier. If you failed, you would have perished outright. Lin Jichen bowed his head. This disciple was wrong. Please reprimand me. She waved her hand. Forget it. What was your opponent's cultivation? He answered honestly. The quest target was only chi refining, but he had an older brother at the foundation stage. Master Lung Fian was slightly surprised. If what he said was true, Lin Jichen had actually killed a foundation stage cultivator alone. Lin Jichen admitted it, but added that without her pill, he would never have survived. Hearing this, Lung Fian tossed him a golden talisman, a spirit soul talisman containing a wisp of her divine soul, capable of saving his life in mortal danger. Lin Jichen was overjoyed. With his master backing him, everything suddenly felt much safer. This was a thigh he would cling to firmly. She then threw 2 more pills, the Promise Prime Gathering Chi pill, plus an extra chi accumulation pellet to help him break through. She added that what he lacked now was sword techniques. The sect's scripture pavilion had plenty, and he could exchange for them himself. Just as she was about to leave, Lin Jichen hurriedly stopped her and offered the jade hairpin he had bought. A small gift from the mortal world, Master. I hope you'll like it. But Lung Fian remained cold. She simply said, cultivate well, and walked away. Lin Jichen sighed inwardly. His master was truly icy. Did she dislike the hairpin? Suddenly the system chimed. Favorability with Lung Fian +5. Lin Jichen lit up. She wasn't heartless after all, just cold on the outside. His progress in winning over his master had advanced another step. As he exited the residence, an explosion erupted ahead. It turned out Elder Tianqing had failed another alchemy attempt. Why is the youth-restoring pill even harder to refine than the Tianyuan pill? Impossible. He then shouted to the disciples, I, Elder Tianqing of the 12 Elders, require someone to fetch a medicinal primer. Who will take the task? But once the task details appeared, disciples scattered. The mission was difficult, costly, and yielded little benefit. Lin Jichen stepped forward and said respectfully, Disciple Lin Jichen is willing to retrieve the Su Ying grass for Elder. He knew Elder Tianqing was a top-tier alchemy grandmaster. Building favor with such a figure was always profitable. To complete the task, he headed to Kanglinher Valley in search of the medicine spirit falcon. Only the falcon carried the Su Ying grass, and it typically appeared where herbs were most abundant. As expected, one appeared ahead, but someone had gotten there first. The medicine spirit falcon was surrounded by over a dozen players, clearly a guild group. Judging by their situation, they would be wiped out soon. Lin Jichen planned to negotiate with them to hand over the boss. Suddenly someone shouted, Wanlingjia, isn't that the super handsome expert? Seeing it was Su Wanling's guild, Lin Jichen felt hopeful and explained that he urgently needed the falcon for a quest, asking if they could let him have it. The mage directing the fight asked Su Wanling whether she knew Lin Jichen. Su Wanling replied that he was the expert she had mentioned before. the one who solo killed the Wild Boar King in the beginner village. And the intel about the blacksmith sect quest was also something she bought from him. Jiang Liu understood but stated firmly that this boss was equally important to the Moonshadow Guild, and they could not give it up even for a friend. Su Wanling hurried to Lin Jichen to apologize, saying the falcon was required for her guild leader's quest, and they must secure it. She asked if he could wait for tomorrow's respawn. Lin Jichen had already expected they wouldn't give it up. He replied that with their current condition, he probably wouldn't need to wait until tomorrow at all. The next second, many players on the field suddenly became dizzy. The Herb Spirit Falcon seized the chance and began a frenzied slaughter. At 50% HP, the Falcon releases Day's Pollen, which not only lowers stamina but also extends skill cooldowns. Lin Jichen sighed. He had wanted to warn them earlier, but now they could only fend for themselves. Jiang Liu rushed in to assist. She cast the skill Liao Fire Lantern on the Falcon. The Falcon instantly screamed in pain as the spell landed. Seeing this, Lin Jichen sighed again. This would only enrage the Falcon, making its rage spike. Higher rage meant faster attacks and harder hits. As expected, Jiang Liu was reduced to near death with a single strike. She hurriedly cast Falling Rock Rain in retaliation. Lin Jichen finally snapped, wondering aloud if she, as a mage, was out of her mind. He said he could teach them how to defeat the Falcon, but only if the dropped Shuyin grass would belong to him. Su Wanling and the others immediately agreed. Lin Jichen continued. Jiang Liu already held the highest aggro, yet still used Falling Rock Rain to provoke it. With only a sliver of HP left, and being a fragile mage, taking hits was suicide. Once the Falcon recovered, a single palm strike would end her. So Lin Jichen took her hand and taught her personally. Falling Rock Rain must be paired with Earth Immortal Bind Hand to maximize its damage output. Lin Jichen then told Su Wanling to use Earth Immortal Binding Hand first. While the Herb Spirit Falcon was restrained, Su Wanling moved in to deal damage, and Lin Jichen reminded her that she should focus on long-range crowd control and let teammates handle the DPS. Seeing this, Jiang Liu quickly thanked him. "Thank for the guidance, big boss." But at that moment, a sudden shout cut through the battlefield. Bloodfiend Guild is clearing the field. This boss belongs to our guild. If you don't want to die, get out. Hearing this, Su Wanling immediately asked Jiang Liu, "Bloodfiend Guild has more people. We're outnumbered. What should we do?" Yet Jiang Liu insisted on fighting. "Even if we lose, Moonshadow Guild must show some backbone. At the very least, we can't lose in momentum." She regretted that the Falcon was only one step away from being killed, but once they fought Bloodfiend Guild, they wouldn't be able to finish it. Lin Jichen then said he could take care of the Falcon. In return, besides the Shade Restoring Herb, they should give him one of the dropped items. Jiang Liu agreed immediately, though Su Wanling was worried. "I'll leave a few people to help you deal with the Falcon." But Lin Jichen shook his head. "No need. I can handle it alone. You all focus on Bloodfiend Guild." Seeing this, the Bloodfiend Guild leader burst into laughter. "You alone want to take down a late-stage cheer-refining Falcon? Don't make me laugh. Brothers, go teach this no-name guild a lesson." Su Wanling and the others were not to be outdone and charged forward. However, because Bloodfiend Guild had overwhelming numbers, Moonshadow Guild was quickly defeated. Seeing the situation, the Bloodfiend Guild members began mocking them. "A bunch of weak girls coming to her valley? Know your place. Come on, let big brothers send you back to the starter village." The Bloodfiend members glared fiercely. "This is what happens when you go against Bloodfiend. Today we'll teach your no-name little guild a lesson." But suddenly someone shouted, "Boss, I think that's a first kill notification." Hearing this, the guild leader broke into a cold sweat. Only after seeing the first kill announcement did he finally believe that Lin Jichen had really taken down the Herb Spirit Falcon. Su Wanling and the others immediately turned around. Lin Jichen casually said, "Bring it here, we'll distribute the loot." The Bloodfiend members were all shocked, but the guild leader quickly snapped out of it and cursed. "He dares steal my boss? He must be tired of living. If he can solo a boss this early, he'll become a threat later. Kill him, take the loot, and break his leveling pace. Whoever finishes him gets a big reward." The next moment, a player named Little Karami charged forward. Lin Jichen thought calmly, "In real life, I'm a boxing champion. You think you can withstand 20 years of training? Yet he simply tilted his body to dodge the attack and struck back with a clean slash. In his previous life, he'd played as a spellcaster for 9 years. He'd been ambushed countless times. Someone like Little Karami was nowhere near enough. Little Karami stared in disbelief. Is he hacking? How can he react that fast? Lin Jichin ended it with a throat slash, and Little Karami turned into a soul seed. Lin Jichin then addressed the Bloodfiend Guild. I don't cause trouble, but I'm not afraid of it. I didn't want to get involved with your guild, but since you provoked me, don't blame me for hitting back. In the next moment, 4 players named Little Karami rushed forward, shouting arrogantly, I'll break your legs today. However, Lin Jichin ended all of them with just 1 slash, seeing the ground full of soul seeds. The Bloodfiend Guild leader instantly broke into a cold sweat, threw out a harsh line, and ran away. After everything was settled, Jiang Liu hurried forward to thank him. Lin Jichin simply said it was no big deal. He then told her that all the Herb Spirit Falcon drops were here. According to their agreement, the Shade Restoring Herb belonged to him, and he would also pick 1 extra piece of equipment as payment. No problem, right? But Su Wanling and the others were shocked. 6 items had dropped. What kind of insane drop rate is this? No monster drops this much. Jiang Luoyu quickly regained her composure. Mr. Lin, you killed the falcon alone. These items should rightfully be yours. But Lin Jichin immediately refused. He had made his terms clear earlier, and getting the first kill was already a huge profit. Jiang Luoyu pulled Su Wanling aside to whisper. Then Su Wanling opened her system page. Suddenly, Lin Jichin received 5 million. So this is what a rich lady is like. She didn't even blink. Jiang Liu came over to shake his hand. Let me introduce myself. Jiang Liu, president of Moonshadow Guild. Lin Jichin shook her hand as well. Wandering player Lin Jichin. Hearing her name, he couldn't help thinking it sounded familiar. In his previous life, he saw her on the rankings. She was the 2nd-ranked spellcaster, right below him, and also the daughter of Seaside City's richest tycoon. Such a powerful rich lady was definitely worth befriending. Noticing Lin Jichin holding Jiang Liu's hand for a bit too long, Su Wanling felt jealous. All right, that's enough, Master Lin. Lin Jichin replied calmly. I was just thinking about something. You know nothing. Hearing that, Su Wanling understood instantly. He ignored her before because she wasn't pretty enough. Men are all pigs. Lin Jichin then took his leave. After he left, Jiang Liu blushed slightly. Your friend is pretty impressive. Su Wanling immediately grew nervous. Impressive what? He was taking advantage of you. That man clearly has his eyes on you. But inside, she was really thinking. Don't tell me. Even Jiang Liu is interested in Master Lin? After everyone left, the woman hiding behind the tree finally relaxed. It was the top female streamer in the entire server, Lu Shazi. She had been live streaming the entire guild battle. Now she said to her viewers, guys, if you want to see more of Master Lin's top tier gameplay, hit that follow button. Master Lin not only secured the first kill easily, but he's ridiculously handsome. I've decided he's my idol from now on. My dream guy. Her viewers instantly broke down. Shashianalo. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Bloodfiend Guild leader who had just been driven off was raging. He stole my guild boss and even used my name to gain fame. Lin Jichin, next time I see you, I'll kill you myself. Meanwhile, inside the sect, Lin Jichin had already handed the herbs to Elder Tianqing, and the elder gave him the corresponding reward, which included 3 pills and a breeze bracelet. In his previous life, Lin Jichin had seen an announcement saying Elder Tianqing succeeded in refining the beauty-retaining pill only after 99 attempts. So he asked whether the elder knew the pill's recipe. The elder sighed helplessly, saying he had already failed more than 10 times. Without a recipe, he was basically groping in the dark. Lin Jichin replied that he once saw a recipe in an ancient text, then listed the required ingredients. Elder Tianqing was shocked and immediately began experimenting. Soon, the beauty-retaining pill was successfully refined. Overjoyed, Elder Tianqing laughed. Ha ha ha, you've done me a great service. This freshly refined pill, take it as your reward. The system prompted, favorability with Elder Tianqing plus 20. Lin Jichin was ecstatic. After all, even with the recipe, few could refine it without a 9th grade master's skill. He then prepared to take his leave, wanting to deliver the pill to his master as soon as possible. The higher her favorability, the greater the benefits. But the elder suddenly stopped him and asked whether he wished to learn alchemy. He even wanted to take Lin Jichen as his disciple. This left Lin Jichen hesitant. Suddenly, a cold voice came from the side. "Senior Tianqing, are you truly willing to steal Fian's only disciple?" The speaker was none other than his master. Lin Jichen was stunned. Why had she suddenly shown up? He had never intended to accept Elder Tianqing's offer. She must not misunderstand. Elder Tianqing quickly explained, "Sect Master, you misunderstand. I don't intend to steal your disciple. I merely saw his talent and wished to teach him alchemy." Hearing this, his master nodded. "So that's the case." Fian misunderstood. Lin Jichen finally breathed in relief. His master was indeed calm and rational. But the next second, her tone flipped completely. "However, Senior Tianqing, you need not be disappointed. If my disciple truly wishes to acknowledge you as his teacher, I won't stop him." The look in her eyes made Lin Jichen sweat. She wasn't angry, right? Elder Tianqing seemed very pleased. Excellent. Then it's settled. He left afterward, leaving Lin Jichen small, helpless, and very alone. Then his master spoke darkly. "Come back to Sword Palace with me. I have something to discuss with you." Lin Jichen immediately obeyed, thinking, "I'm doomed. She's really mad this time." They soon returned to the Sword Palace. His master immediately spoke in a jealous tone. "So it seems you're not very satisfied with me as your teacher. Why don't we dissolve our relationship, and you can find someone better?" Hearing this, Lin Jichen broke into a cold sweat. She really had misunderstood. Lin Jichen hurriedly apologized over and over, begging his master not to dissolve their master-disciple bond. Hearing this, his master asked him what exactly he had done wrong. Feeling guilty, Lin Jichen admitted, "I failed to follow your instructions to focus on cultivation. Instead, I went to Elder Tianqing to learn alchemy, wasted time, and disappointed the expectations you had for me." Seeing her expression soften, he immediately praised her. "Master, you are the greatest master under heaven. Your cultivation is unmatched, your beauty celestial, your grace unparalleled. With a master like you, why would I ever want another teacher?" Hearing this, her mood noticeably improved. System prompt. Lung Fian favorability +5. Seeing his sincerity, Lung Fian said, "Since you understand your mistake, I will not pursue it further this time." Lin Jichen immediately thanked her. Then he presented the beauty-retaining pill. "This is a small gift from your disciple as an apology." His master was shocked. "This pill is extremely rare. Where did you get it?" Lin Jichen explained the situation, but his master replied with a proud, thunder tone, "Such a precious pill. Keep it for yourself." He grew anxious inwardly. "Oh, she wants to be stubborn? Whether you want it or not, you're taking it today." He quickly held her hand. "This pill was always meant for you, master. The reason I wanted to learn alchemy from Elder Tianqing was so I could refine one for you every day, so you could take it as casually as eating." Hearing this, she finally couldn't hold back her laughter, and that smile went straight into Lin Jichen's heart. "Master, even though your celestial appearance doesn't need such a pill, I still hope you'll accept it." She finally relented. "Very well, I will accept your token of goodwill." System prompt. Lung Fian favorability +20. "Since you've given me such a gift," she continued, "I can't accept it for free. I recall a martial technique suitable for the chi refining stage. It should be perfect for you. Come with me." Lin Jichen immediately responded, "Yes, master." When he raised his head slightly, he noticed his master was quietly wearing the hairpin he had given her earlier. Soon after, he received the martial skill, Phoenix Feather, and began cultivating it. This martial technique dealt not only twice the AoE damage of Frost Moon Slash, but could even break an enemy's weapon and inflict a crippling effect. Suddenly, Senior Sister Nangong, you came to look for Lin Jichen, saying she had a small favor to ask of him. Because she had been too absorbed in reading romance storybooks, she had completely neglected her missions, and she was still missing one exorcism quest that required at least 2 people. She wanted a partner and asked whether her junior brother was willing to help. Lin Jichen agreed immediately. After all, Senior Sister had always taken care of him and even gifted him a high-grade jade pendant the first time they met. It would feel wrong not to help her. Hearing his agreement, Nangongyu lit up with joy. Junior brother, you're so kind. Don't worry, during the mission, your senior sister will protect you. I won't let you get hurt at all. The system prompted. Nangongyu Favorability +10. Opportunity triggered. Assist Nangongyu. Travel to Forget Sorrow Village and eliminate the spirits together. Soon, the two arrived at Forget Sorrow Village. Nangongyu explained the mission. The village had been invaded by malevolent spirits, and all its residents had eventually become nourishment for them. The sect required not only clearing the spirits, but also uncovering the truth and reporting back. Lin Jichin then remembered. This place was the entrance to the Crystal Stage Blood Infant secret realm in his previous life. Suddenly, eerie sounds echoed from the well. In the next moment, a wraith shot upward at high speed. Nangongyu immediately stepped in front of Lin Jichin. Junior brother, be careful. She reassured him gently. Don't be afraid. Your senior sister will protect you. Then she cut the wraith down with a single slash. But more and more wraiths kept surging out from the ancient well. Seeing this, Lin Jichin broke into a cold sweat. There were so many spirits hidden inside. A lone Shira-finding wraith wasn't scary, but if hundreds gathered together, things would get troublesome. Senior sister Nangongyu was equally shocked. At this rate, the entire village must have been turned into wraiths by the demonic cultivator inside the house. She charged toward the ancient well. To commit something this atrocious today, I, Nangongyu, will eradicate evil. Lin Jichin followed closely. Senior sister, I'll support you. Together, they unleashed Skylight, Slash, and Frostmoon Slash, clearing all the surrounding wraiths. Nangongyu continued deeper into the village, shouting toward the house, demonic scum, you slaughtered innocent villagers. Today I'll use your life to honor the dead. Watching her bravery, Lin Jichin couldn't help but think, I never expected a senior sister obsessed with romance novels to be this reliable. Her combat strength far exceeds expectations. But suddenly, a massive hand burst out from inside the house. Luckily, Nangongyu reacted instantly and blocked the attack, though her sword was damaged in the process. A disgusting laugh echoed from within. Kakik, so the disciples of Tianyan's sword sect dare interrupt my cultivation? Since you refuse the road to heaven, don't blame me for sending you to hell. Their eyes widened. He was a golden core stage cultivator. Was the sex intel wrong? But Lin Jichin quickly realized he had just broken through. The demonic cultivator raised his banner. Yes, I just advanced a golden core. If I refine the two of you into spirits, my strength will grow even further. Nangongyu step forward. Junior brother, fall back. I'll handle him. Though he was golden core, Nangongyu was an elite inner disciple, armed with multiple treasures. The two clashed evenly. Seeing he couldn't defeat her quickly, the demonic cultivator suddenly tossed a gourd in Lin Jichin's direction. Blood-red smoke burst out, and a demon infant manifested. It lunged straight toward Nangongyu. Lin Jichin struck instantly, slicing off its tongue. Senior sister, focus on the demonic cultivator. The demon infant is mine. The demon infant roared in fury, shouting that it would eat Lin Jichin's liver, his heart, his entire body. Before it could finish, Lin Jichin activated Phantom Step, channeling mana into his sword. A flash of light, one clean strike, and the demon infant's head was severed. Ugly thing. Talks too much. But to his surprise, the headless demon infant immediately entered Phase 2, exploding into a massive swarm of blood-red bats, more than an entire bat nest. The blood bats filled the sky, screeching with a mind-distorting sound. A debuff triggered Blood Bat Howl, destabilizes the mind. Movement type skills effectiveness -30%. Lin Jichin steadied his mind. If movement skills were suppressed, then this was the perfect time to test his new martial skill, Phoenix Feather Slash. The Qiyin sword lit up in his grip, his battle intent erupting. He unleashed Phoenix Feather. Crimson sword intent burst outward, pushed to its absolute limit. Countless blades of light rained down, tearing through the sky. In just a few breaths, every bat was shredded. System prompt, cripple effect triggered. Ignores armor, lasts 15 seconds. Blood rain fell from above, painting a hellish scene. This was the power of a mystic grade martial skill, far stronger than Frostmoon Slash. Meanwhile, As Lin Jichen finished his battle, Nan Gongyu had also defeated the demonic cultivator. But the cultivator refused to accept defeat and threw out a wooden box. "If I die, you won't live either." Believing it to be a hidden weapon, Nan Gongyu instinctively sliced the box open. A cloud of pink mist burst out, tiny pink insects. She dodged, but a few still landed on her. Lin Jichen recognized them instantly, charm insect, and warned her to cover her mouth and nose. Too late. The aphrodisiac worm seeped through her clothes and skin, entering her body. Her face reddened, her eyes turned hazy. Lin Jichen caught her as she swayed. "Senior sister, are you all right?" Nan Gongyu's blush deepened. "Lil Junior, don't look at me." Her warning carried an unintended hint of seduction. Lin Jichen could only smile bitterly. The aphrodisiac worm triggered intense desire. No wonder she fell for it. It was likely her first time encountering such a trick. Since she already harbored feelings for Lin Jichen, the aphrodisiac worm's effect made her completely unresistant to his presence, and her will began to waver. System notifications. Favorability plus 20, 52. Harmonious feelings plus 20, 72. Resonant hearts plus 20, 92. Unbreakable devotion. Lin Jichen heard the prompts, but couldn't feel happy. He knew very well these points weren't real. Nan Gongyu, trembling and flushed, clung to him. "Little Junior, help me. I feel terrible." She collapsed fully into his arms, eyes misty, breath warm, lips parted, utterly defenseless and impossibly alluring. Any man would want to taste such beauty and take her right on the spot. Lin Jichen wanted it too, but he held himself back because of the consequences. Nan Gongyu was currently under the influence of the aphrodisiac worm, having lost a reason. Driven by its effect, her affection for Lin Jichen temporarily skyrocketed. In this state, he truly could push her down and spend the night with her. But once she woke up, she would know everything. The best-case scenario would be her affection resetting to zero and the two becoming strangers. Worse, she would forever lose goodwill toward him, or even turn hostile and kill him in rage. Lin Jichen would never gamble his life for one night. If Nan Gongyu woke up wanting him dead, 10 lives wouldn't be enough. He had a godly start and a powerful backing. He wouldn't be stupid enough to throw it all away. He then looked toward the well and suddenly remembered that special pills were refreshed at the bottom of this hidden well area. However, there was a formation restricting intruders, easy for a crystal stage cultivator to handle, but he was only at the cheer refining stage. After a brief struggle, he reluctantly pushed the weakened Nan Gongyu aside and jumped into the well. "Senior sister, hold on. I'll find the antidote for you." It was a dried well, dark, damp, visibility almost zero. Lin Jichen lit a torch to illuminate the inside. The bottom was filled with bones, likely the remains of the village's people. Thick Yin energy accumulated around them, refusing to disperse. Sensing a living person, the Yin energy surged toward Lin Jichen, trying to devour his vital essence. Damage numbers 100. 100 kept appearing over his head as his HP dropped rapidly. Ignoring the erosion, Lin Jichen searched the well with torch in hand. Finally, he spotted a skeleton. Beneath it, a porcelain bottle was pressed under the bones. He rushed toward it. At that moment, the formation activated. A mass of Yin lightning condensed, its power terrifying. As the Yin lightning struck toward him, in a split second before impact, Lin Jichen activated his spirit shield. The protective power of the spirit shield amulet wrapped around him, neutralizing the Yin lightning entirely. Before Lin Jichen could breathe out in relief, the formation crackled again. Another Yin lightning was condensing, and there was more than just one. His scalp tightened, wishing he had wings on his feet as he dashed the skeleton and dug out the porcelain bottle. He then leapt upward, using his movement skill Phantom Step to sprint several meters toward the well's edge. But the well was several meters tall. Before he could reach the top, the Yin lightning behind him was already locking onto him. Seeing he could no longer dodge, Lin Jichen braced himself as the Yin lightning burst out of the well. It struck him directly, dealing minus 4,000 HP. The impact launched him straight out of the well. The next moment, his vision went black as he fell right onto Nan Gongyu's soft, boneless body. Nan Gongyu was already delirious from the charm parasite, her clothes torn open during her struggle, exposing a breathtaking view. But Lin Jichin had no time to look. He immediately poured the entire bottle of medicine into her mouth. The moment he finished feeding her, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. He then collapsed into a near-death state, his head coincidentally resting against her full, soft chest, unconscious yet oddly comfortable. Not long after, the senior sister slowly regained consciousness, feeling something heavy on her body. She looked down and froze. Lin Jichin was lying on top of her, his head resting on her most sensitive spot. Seeing her clothes disheveled and her body exposed, she instantly assumed her innocence had been taken. Heartbroken and humiliated, she screamed and slapped Lin Jichin across the face so hard that he was sent flying, landing face first in the dirt like a kicked dog. Nan Gongyu cried while cursing, calling Lin Jichin a beast and a bastard. She simply couldn't believe that the junior brother she liked would take advantage of her while she was helpless. Meanwhile, Lin Jichin had no idea what had happened. He remained unconscious. Ding! Nan Gongyu's favorability toward him has dropped to 0. Believing her purity had been violated, she cried for a long time before finally calming down a little. When her eyes fell on the bottle beside her, she suddenly realized it was actually an HP recovery item. Suspicions slowly rose as she recalled what happened before she lost consciousness. She remembered her junior brother saying, "Senior sister, hold on. I'll go find you an antidote." Thinking of this, her expression changed. She looked toward the well and at the ground beside her, noticing traces of Yin thunder explosions and lingering Yinsha energy. Could she have misunderstood him? Did Lin Jichin enter the Yinsha formation to save her? Realizing the truth, she rushed to Lin Jichin's side and found him barely breathing. A large hole burned by Yinsha energy marked the back of his clothing. With the truth revealed, Nan Gongyu's eyes welled up again. Overwhelmed with guilt, she whispered, "Junior brother, senior sister wronged you." She quickly lifted Lin Jichin onto her back and flew toward the sect, needing to reach her grandfather for help. "Junior brother, please hold on." After traveling through the night, she finally reached Sword Sect at dawn. Exhausted to the point of collapse, she still pushed herself, flying straight through the mountain gate. Many players saw this and whispered in confusion. Lin the expert fainted? Why is he so close with an NPC? I want that treatment too. Some recognized him. Why is junior sister Nan Gong carrying a man? He looks familiar. Isn't he the new disciple the sect master accepted? Lin Jichin, right? Others whispered about propriety. How can she be so intimate with him? Senior brother. Hearing the gossip, Chu Tianhan, who had always secretly loved her, darkened instantly. Veins bulged on his neck, fists clenched in his sleeves, and jealousy burned in his eyes like a raging inferno. Nan Gongyu ignored all rumors entirely and flew straight past the outer hall toward the inner hall. No one knew how long he had been unconscious, but when Lin Jichin woke up, he found himself lying on a simple wooden bed. Inside a clean, quiet room, a weathered voice suddenly sounded. "Awake?" He looked over in confusion. The old man speaking was aged but energetic, his aura no weaker than elder Tianqing's. Lin Jichin had been struck by the Yinsha formation but suffered no harm. Perhaps this elder was the one who saved him. Thinking of this, he quickly stood and bowed. "Thank you for saving my life, senior. I am Lin Jichin, disciple of the Tianyin Sword Sect. May I know your honored name? Your kindness will never be forgotten." The old man waved casually. "No need. My name is Nangong Tianyuan, surname Nangong, given name Yuan. I am Nangongyu's grandfather." Lin Jichin was taken aback. He didn't expect this old man to be Nangongyu's grandfather. Anyone whose title carried the character Tian clearly had an extraordinary background. Definitely someone he needed to cling to. "Greetings, Elder. I will forever remember your life-saving grace." Elder Tian Yuan let out a low chuckle, his tone turning strange. "I don't need your gratitude. You only need to remember one thing. Stay away from my granddaughter. If you dare set your sights on her, I won't spare you. Even if you're the sect master's disciple, it won't help you." Just then, a familiar figure came rushing into the room. Nangongyu scolded him at once. "Grandpa, you promised you wouldn't talk nonsense. Why can't you keep your word?" The dignified Grand Elder of the Sword sect instantly lost all temper at her words and instead forced a flattering smile toward Nan Gongyu. Grandpa was just teasing him. That boy is decent, and he even saved you. How could Grandpa not know proper manners? Only then did Nan Gongyu look satisfied. She bounced lightly to Lin Jichen's side and asked, "Junior brother, how are your injuries?" Lin Jichen was about to say something slightly cheesy, but with a sideways glance, he caught Elder Tianyuan staring at him with lightning in his eyes. Terrified, he swallowed the words instantly. "Thank you for your concern, senior sister. I'm fine now." Nan Gongyu gazed at him with lingering affection as she spoke softly. "Good. When the Insha invaded your body, you were completely unconscious, so I carried you back and begged Grandpa to heal you. If we had been even a moment later, the Insha would have seeped into your organs and Dantian. It would have been disastrous." Lin Jichen quickly expressed his gratitude. "Thank you for saving my life, senior sister. I'm truly indebted." Nan Gongyu smiled and scolded him lightly. "What are you saying? Why be so distant with me?" Lin Jichen replied awkwardly, "Huh, that's true." The moment he finished speaking, a chill ran down his back. Elder Tianyuan's glare grew even more terrifying as he let out a heavy cough to warn him. Lin Jichen panicked and immediately stepped back, putting distance between him and his senior sister. Nan Gongyu then said shyly, "Actually, I'm the one who should be thanking you. If you hadn't risked your life and jumped into the well to find the antidote for the aphrodisiac worm, I'm afraid I wouldn't have survived. And I even misunderstood you back then. Junior brother, I apologize. You truly are a gentleman." Her words made Elder Tianyuan's forehead veins bulge. Lin Jichen was horrified inside. "Senior sister, please shut up. If you keep talking, Elder Tianyuan is going to kill me." But why was she looking at him with such amorous eyes? 62 favorability wasn't low, but it definitely shouldn't make her gaze at him like that. Suspicious, Lin Jichen opened his system panel and froze. It displayed Nan Gongyu's favorability toward you. 62. Hearts in harmony. He almost screamed. What the hell? How did it suddenly jump by 30 points? Lin Jichen thought that if this continued, his relationship with senior sister Nan Gongyu would definitely start to change in a strange direction. Just then, a warning cough cut off his wandering thoughts. Teasing, he looked at Nan Gongyu. "Senior sister, is your grandfather's coughing illness really that serious? Should I go look for herbs?" Nan Gongyu covered her mouth and giggled. "Junior brother, you're sweet. Grandpa's just old. Ignore him. He'll be fine after coughing a few times and taking a nap." Hearing this, Elder Tianyuan felt a pain in his chest, flicked his sleeve unhappily, and shooed him out. "Since you're awake, come with me. I'll reward you with a spirit beast. Take it and leave with it immediately." Lin Jichen followed Elder Tianyuan all the way to the back mountain, a lush forest stretching wide. A plaque reading Spirit Beast Garden hung at the entrance, where various spirit beasts were kept. Each species had its own territory, preventing fights. Seeing Lin Jichen dazzled by the scenery, Elder Tianyuan smirked proudly. "Kid, how about my Spirit Beast Garden? Not worse than beast taming sect, right?" Lin Jichen raised a thumb. "Elder, it's indeed impressive." Elder Tianyuan clearly wasn't satisfied. "Just impressive? Have you seen a better beast garden than this one?" Lin Jichen was speechless. Why was this old man's competitiveness so strong? Maybe provoking him a little could bring unexpected benefits. After thinking for a moment, Lin Jichen said, "I heard the beast taming sect garden has an incredible variety of spirit beasts, not something ordinary beast gardens can compare to." Elder Tianyuan immediately glared. "Bah, those beast taming clowns raise every random creature they find. They only win by numbers. My garden is famous for quality. What do they have to compete with me?" Lin Jichen glanced around and commented, "With all due respect, Elder, it seems there isn't even a foundation stage beast in this garden." Elder Tianyuan's eyebrows shot up in anger. "You brat, looking down on me? Who told you I only raise chi-refining beasts? The deeper you go, the stronger they get." With that, he grabbed Lin Jichen by the collar and dragged him past the outer area. "If I don't prove it today, I won't sleep tonight. Being belittled by a kid, how could I endure that?" Lin Jichen felt secretly delighted. Perfect, step into the trap first, then find a way to get a strong beast out of him. The deeper they went, the stronger the spirit beasts became. Sheer refining stage, foundation stage, crystallization stage, golden core stage, even spirit manifestation stage. Any further, and I won't take you. One random pressure from those beasts could crush you. So, convinced now? Elder Tian Yuan said proudly. Before he could finish boasting, Nan Gongyu immediately exposed him. Junior brother, don't believe my grandpa. His garden tops out at spirit manifestation stage. The reason he won't show you isn't power, it's shame. Elder Tianyuan's old face flushed red with embarrassment. Enough. I've got things to do. Pick a chi refining stage beast and get out. Nan Gongyu once again opposed him. Grandpa, you're too stingy. Junior brother personally killed a mid-foundation stage ghost mother blood infant. Of course, he should pick a foundation stage beast. Elder Tian Yuan was speechless. Why did this girl always help outsiders? Foundation stage beast. She said it like it cost nothing. Nan Gongyu chuckled. Junior brother isn't an outsider. Then dragged Lin Jichin toward the foundation stage area. Look, junior brother, how about that one? Ironback Frost Wolf, early foundation stage, can be both a pet and a mount. And that one, Moon Spirit Monkey, mid-foundation stage, great attack and speed. She introduced them enthusiastically. At that moment, a small beast suddenly rolled into Lin Jichin's view. The small beast had black and white fur, round and chubby, looking just like a panda. But in this cultivation world, it wasn't called a panda. It was a steel-eating beast, said to be Chiyo's mount in ancient legends. In the Bahuang, it was extremely rare. Even if you raised one casually, it could grow into a nascent soul stage cultivator with overwhelming combat power. Lin Jichin's eyes lit up. He picked up the steel-eating beast and said he wanted this one. Elder Tianyuan's jaw dropped. He yanked it away immediately. No, you can't have this one. I only have a few steel-eating beasts. Once they mature, the weakest of them reaches the nascent soul stage. And this one isn't even grown yet. It still has room to advance. How could I possibly give it to you? Yet before he could finish complaining, Nan Gongyu had already run over and snatched the panda cub into her arms. A spirit beast with great potential should go to a junior with great potential. Little junior brother, take it. It's yours. Just drip your blood on its forehead and it will recognize you as its master. Elder Tian Yuan panicked and rushed over. You brat, give that steel-eating beast back to me. Nan Gongyu blocked him. Grandpa, you raised me to be someone who keeps her word, but you're going back on yours? I already gave it to junior brother. You can take it back. She turned to Lin Jichin. Junior brother, hurry and form the blood bond. After dripping his blood, Lin Jichin pressed his palm onto its forehead, sensing its emotional fluctuations and initiating spiritual communication. Seeing this, Nan Gongyu laughed. Grandpa, he already did it. It's too late to regret it now. Elder Tian Yuan trembled, helplessly sighing. You really are your grandpa's precious granddaughter. Lin Jichin held the steel-eating beast and began communicating with it using mental energy. Unexpectedly, the beast was extremely hostile. You, a tiny chi refining stage, weakling, wanted me to serve you? Bah, get lost. Lin Jichin chuckled. Hey, we can talk this out. Be my companion, and I'll take you to taste the finest delicacies and spiritual herbs the world has to offer. He still remembered from his past life. Steel-eating beasts were gluttonous and easily tempted by food. The beast snorted with disdain. Oomph, I've eaten everything worth eating. Lin Jichin smiled. In Mushin province, there's a crystalline secret realm with a bamboo forest full of purple arrow bamboo. Sweet, crisp, refreshing. Ever tried it? The beast's eyes widened. No. To the east of Huafeng province, on Penglai Immortal Isle, there's a fruit called the Tongxian fruit. One bite extends your life by 100 years. Ever tried it? And also, before he could finish, the steel-eating beast jumped down excitedly. Enough. Stop talking. I'm starving. The steel-eating beast asked, If I follow you, can I really eat all those things you mentioned? Lin Jichin nodded. Of course. A gentleman keeps his word. Good. Then it's settled, master. Ding. Taming successful. Steel-eating beast, cub, unnamed, early foundation stage. Skills, furious bite, thunder rampage, head smash strike. After the taming succeeded, Lin Jichin smiled. Don't worry. Follow me, and you'll eat well and live well. After checking its attributes, he knew he had struck gold. Thick HP, Fast attack speed, another big win. At that moment, a system announcement sounded. In 10 minutes, Bahuang would begin its first major update. All players would be forcibly logged out. Estimated update time, 24 hours. Lin Jichen frowned. In his previous life, the first major update happened more than a month after open beta. Why was it so early this time? Would the future fusion of game and reality also happen ahead of schedule? No time to think. He needed to return to the Sword Palace courtyard and AFK immediately. He quickly said goodbye to Nan Gongyu. Senior sister, thank you for today. I'll return to cultivate first. I'll visit again in a few days. Nan Gongyu held him, reluctant. Fine, rest for a few days. I'll look for you later. Lin Jichen nodded, carried the steel-eating beast back to his room, and entered AFK mode. Logging out of the game, he checked his phone. In a few days, it would be Gu Qiushue's birthday. Even without the update, he had planned to log off early, because in his past life, he ignored her messages just to hang out with Guo Jie. In this life, no matter what happened, he would put everything aside to attend her birthday. The two girls he wronged most in his previous life were Ren Lan and Gu Qiushue. Gu Qiushue was 3 years older than Lin Jichen. By seniority, she was his cousin, but since their families had already surpassed 5 degrees of kinship, they were cousins only in name. When Lin Jichen was young, Gu Qiushue often visited his home. Because she wore braces, she was frequently bullied. The kids mocked her as a steel-toothed monster and called her ugly. Every time someone bullied her, Lin Jichen would bravely step in. As long as he was around, no one could touch Qiushue Jijie. With his small, skinny frame, he fought boys who were several heads taller. Even getting beaten black and blue never stopped him. These experiences brought them extremely close. She loved sticking to him, and he often got treats from her. After they grew up and lived in different cities, she still called him regularly. After his parents passed away, she was the light in his darkest days. He thought she only saw him as a younger brother, until he accidentally read her diary and learned her true feelings. It was filled with affection she had held since college. But in his previous life, he was bewitched by Guo Jie and brushed off Qiushue's concern. By the time he heard about her again, she had married, and shortly after, she took her own life due to depression. Now that he thought about it, she started distancing herself right after that birthday. So this time, he must not miss her birthday. He would never let her repeat her past fate. After getting off the plane, he took a taxi straight to the hospital where she worked. Walking through the corridor, he headed toward the gynecology department. Suddenly, several doctors and nurses rushed past with a stretcher. Beside it was a graceful, elegant woman, Yang Yuru, chairwoman of Yangfan Shipping Group. She cried anxiously, "Dad, please wake up. Dean Zheng, you must save him." Lin Jichen could tell the old man on the stretcher was in critical condition. Using the pharmacology techniques he learned in Bahuang, he pressed several acupoints to stabilize him. Otherwise, the old man wouldn't last an hour. Moments later, something astonishing happened. The nearly lifeless old man's heartbeat revived, and he slowly opened his eyes. Seeing this scene, the doctor beside him was shocked. "How did you do that?" Then he snapped back to focus. Forget it. Since he woke up, his chances just increased. Move him to the OR now. He rushed the stretcher into the operating room. Yang Yiru let out a long breath of relief and grabbed Lin Jichen's arm. "Little miracle doctor, can you save my father? As long as you're willing. The Yang family will pay any price." Lin Jichen thought carefully. A terminal illness like this could only be cured by spiritual herbs from Bahuang, unless the game fused with reality. He shook his head. I only opened his blocked acupoints. It can ease the symptoms, but the rest depends on the surgery. And the surgery is extremely difficult. Your father's life force is nearly exhausted. If things go well, he might live half a month longer. Hearing this, Yang Yiru felt as if struck by lightning, collapsing back into despair, eyes brimming with tears. She choked out, "Little miracle doctor, may I lean on your shoulder for a moment?" Seeing her devastated expression, Lin Jichen couldn't bring himself to refuse. He sighed, wrong timing, just like with his parents. If they had lived until the day he became a legend in Bahuang, he could have saved them too. After a long while, her sobbing subsided. "I'm sorry, I dirtied your clothes." He waved it off. "It's fine, just a cheap shirt. If you're all right now, I'll head out first. Spend these days with your father. Don't leave regrets." As he turned to leave, Yang Yiru called out, "Wait, little miracle doctor. Even if you can't cure him, letting him stay alive a few more days is a great kindness. This card is a small token of gratitude. No password needed. And this is my personal business card. If you ever need help, as long as I can do it, I will." She pressed a bank card and a card into his hand. Lin Jichen believed that refusing money would be foolish, so he didn't even bother pretending. He accepted it without hesitation, thinking she truly was a rich lady. Yang Yiru nodded. Then it settled. "Goodbye, little doctor." After she turned and left, Lin Jichen watched her back and sighed helplessly. In his heart, he muttered that he was not little at all. He then headed to the gynecology department. As soon as he arrived, he spotted Gu Qiuxue standing in the corridor not far away. When she heard him call her name, Gu Qiuxue froze for a moment before her face blossomed into a radiant, joyful smile. Lin Jichen's eyes turned slightly red. He walked up and wrapped his arms tightly around her shoulders, burying his face in her long hair. The familiar floral scent calmed him, and his heart trembled. "Sis, I missed you so much." It was the first time Gu Qiuxue had ever been hugged so tightly by him. Her cheeks flushed, yet she didn't push him away. Xiaochun. After Gu Qiuxue got off work, they went together to her apartment. It was an old, nearly condemned building. Lin Jichen frowned. "And you dare run a place like this?" Gu Qiuxue replied awkwardly, "It's cheap and close to the hospital." "It's fine." She invited him inside. "Xiaochun, go take a shower and relax. I'll cook something good for you." Lin Jichen responded softly. As he looked around, his heart tightened. In his previous life, he never knew she had lived like this. He understood clearly. She could have lived a much better life. Seeing him in a daze, Gu Qiuxue asked, "Xiaochun, what's wrong? Didn't you bring clothes?" "There are some in the wardrobe. Grab whatever fits." Lin Jichen nodded. He opened the wardrobe and found 7 or 8 sets of men's clothing, every single one in his size. Gu Qiuxue blushed. "I bought them when I was bored shopping. I thought they'd look good on you. I planned to bring them home during vacation, but since you're already here, try them on." Her words warmed him deeply. With a sister like her, what more could a younger brother ask for? When Lin Jichen finished showering and changed into clean clothes, Gu Qiuxue had already prepared dinner. The entire table was filled with dishes Lin Jichen loved. Still wearing her apron, she picked up her phone and said, "College must cost a lot. Do you still have enough money? I'll transfer some to you when I get paid in a couple of days." Hearing that, Lin Jichen quickly grabbed her hand. "Sis, I'm not short of money. I'm actually pretty rich now." Seeing that Gu Qiuxue didn't believe him, he simply took out his phone as well. Within 2 minutes, Gu Qiuxue received a message saying her card had increased by 1 million. Shocked, she stared at her phone. "Xiaochun, where did you get so much money? Don't tell me you joined some money laundering group?" Seeing her panic, Lin Jichen laughed and explained, "I earned it in a game, that popular one called Bahuang." Hearing that, Gu Qiuxue finally sighed in relief. "Gaming pays that well? That's insane." Lin Jichen said, "So you don't need to exhaust yourself anymore. You used to support me. Now it's my turn." Gu Qiuxue blushed. "Who needs you to support me? That's the money you work hard for. I'm returning it to you." Lin Jichen pretended to be upset. "So you're treating me like an outsider? Then maybe I should just leave right now." Seeing his anger, she panicked. "Of course not. Fine, I'll keep it for you for now." His expression instantly changed, smiling. "That's better. My money is your money. There's no division between us." Night quickly fell. Gu Qiuxue insisted he sleep in her bed, while she took the sofa. Unable to refuse, Lin Jichen was pushed into the bedroom. He couldn't fall asleep for a while. The blankets and pillow still carried her familiar scent. He got up and walked to the living room. "Sis, there's something I want to tell you." Gu Qiuxue rubbed her eyes. "What is it? Can't sleep because it's a new place?" Lin Jichen shook his head, sat beside her, and said directly, "Quit your job, okay?" She was surprised. "Why would I do that? You said you wanted to support me, but I don't need that." He looked serious. "I mean switch to another job. You working here is too far from me. We barely get to see each other. When I miss you, you're not around. And if you ever run into trouble, I won't be able to get to you fast enough." Hearing such bold and ambiguous words, Gu Qiuxue's face flushed red in the dim light, her ears burning. She felt he wasn't the same as before, but couldn't tell exactly why. Lin Jichen held her hand. "Sis, Why not change professions entirely? Come with me and become a pro player in Bahuang. In truth, he wanted her to get into Bahuang early, raise her cultivation, and survive better once the game fused with reality. Time passed quickly. Although Gu Qiuxue was working the next day, her mind kept drifting to the beautiful future she imagined. Suddenly, her colleagues gathered around her, wishing her a happy birthday. Zhang Guangwei, who secretly had a crush on her, approached with flowers in one hand and a luxury brand bag in the other. He announced that he had booked a VIP room at the most upscale fooding restaurant in the capital and would cover all expenses. Everyone gasped and applauded. Gu Qiuxue looked troubled and quickly waved her hand, saying she had no plans to dine at an expensive restaurant. Zhang Guangwei handed her the roses and the gift bag with a graceful smile, saying she already knew his feelings and shouldn't be so distant. Yet in his mind, he planned to lure her and her colleagues to the luxury restaurant, spend about 10,000 yuan, and seize a perfect chance to get close, then look for an opportunity to force himself on her. Just as Gu Qiuxue was struggling to respond, Lin Jichen appeared at the department entrance with a light chuckle, asking why things were so lively. Zhang Guangwei's face darkened when he recognized the key in Lin Jichen's hand. It was a Ferrari key. He couldn't understand how a supposedly poor student who relied on Gu Qiuxue's support could possibly own a sports car. Lin Jichen politely greeted him, addressing him as Dr. Zhang. But inwardly, he sneered, wanting to see what scheme Zhang Guangwei was plotting. At the hospital entrance, Zhang Guangwei suggested that since Lin's car only had 2 seats, Gu Qiuxue should ride with him while the others took taxis. He would reimburse the fare. Lin Jichen rejected the idea outright, saying there was no need to trouble him and that transportation was already arranged. As soon as he finished speaking, several large buses pulled up in front of the group. After sending everyone on board, Lin Jichen took Gu Qiuxue into the sports car. Gu Qiuxue asked if the car was his. Lin Jichen nodded with a smile, saying it was her birthday gift. Gu Qiuxue felt dizzy from shock and angrily refused, saying the gift was far too expensive and he shouldn't waste money. Lin Jichen simply laughed and said that if she resigned early, he would hand over all his assets to her, so he wouldn't have a chance to spend recklessly. Hearing this, Gu Qiuxue was both touched and exasperated, scolding him lightly. Before long, the group arrived at Fooding Hotel. Lin Jichen looked at the lavish, luxurious building and couldn't help marveling. Brother Zhang, you really know how to spend. This must be one of the most upscale hotels in the capital. Hearing this, Zhang Guangwei looked rather pleased. It's your sister's birthday. Of course I have to make a good impression. Seeing how much he enjoyed showing off, Lin Jichen decided he might as well take full advantage of it. I heard the top floor overlooks half the capital and has an incredible night view. I assume that's where Brother Zhang booked the private room. Zhang Guangwei froze for a second, but with so many people watching, could only grit his teeth and admit, yes, of course. Follow me upstairs. Even as he spoke, he was calculating in his heart. He originally booked the second floor for just over 10,000, but switching to the top floor would multiply the price tenfold. Forget it. If I want to win Gu Qiuxue over, I should spend the money. She'll pay it back sooner or later anyway, he thought. Soon they arrived at the top floor and began celebrating Gu Qiuxue's birthday. The co-workers, tasting delicacies they had never eaten in their entire lives, thanked her repeatedly. Qiuxue, we're lucky to be here because of you. Gu Qiuxue, however, felt uncomfortable. The Detshido Zhang Guangwei was far too big. Nothing tasted good anymore. Halfway through the meal, Zhang Guangwei called a waiter over and asked for the bottle of wine he had stored there. Everyone, this is my treasured red wine. Excellent flavor. I normally wouldn't open it, but since it's Qiuxue's birthday, I'll take it out for the occasion. He opened the bottle and eagerly poured a glass for everyone. Lin Jichen lifted his glass and quietly sniffed it. Something was off. The wine was laced with drugs. If he hadn't often used this same type of sedative to trap wild beasts, he might not have noticed. He quietly set the glass down and found an excuse to leave. I have something to take care of, so I'll head out first. Brother Zhang, could you please send my sister home later? Hearing this, Zhang Guangwei's eyes lit up. No problem, Xiaochun. Leave her to me. Lin Jichen nodded and turned to leave. As he walked out, he shot Zhang Guangwei a mocking glance. The fox was finally showing its tail. He wasn't in a hurry to expose him yet. He planned to let him walk straight into his own trap. After Lin Jichen left, Zhang Guangwei stood up with his glass and called out, "Let's have a drink together. Happy birthday, Xiaoxue." The co-workers played along, each raising their glass and finishing it in one go. After several rounds of drinks, everyone began feeling strange. One by one, they grew dizzy and collapsed onto the table. I think I drank too much. My head is spinning. Same here, this wine hits too hard. Seeing this, Zhang Guangwei trembled with excitement. I finally waited for this moment. He grabbed Gu Qiuxue in his arms. Gu Qiuxue was barely conscious and struggled weakly. "Dr. Zhang, what are you doing? Let me go." Zhang Guangwei chuckled darkly and dragged her quickly into the nearby room. "Of course, we're going to have some fun." Inside, Gu Qiuxue was thrown straight onto the bed. As he opened his phone to start recording, he began tearing at her clothes. "Qiuxue, I spent a lot of money celebrating your birthday tonight. You'd better repay me properly. Once I'm done with you, once the videos and photos are taken, you, with your thin skin, definitely won't dare call the police. By then, you'll have no choice but to marry me. And after that, I'll take my time playing with you." Ha ha. But just as he was about to move, a dark figure kicked the door open. "Let go of my sister." A fierce killing intent burst from Lin Jichen's eyes. Before Zhang Guangwei could react, Lin Jichen delivered a powerful kick, sending him crashing to the floor. The noise drew hotel staff over, and they froze upon seeing the scene. Lin Jichen was furiously pummeling Zhang Guangwei, blow after blow landing on his face. Zhang Guangwei's face was completely ruined. He couldn't even scream, several teeth knocked out. "You like forcing women, huh? You dare lay a hand on my sister? I'll make sure you never have kids again." With that, Lin Jichen swung his leg and delivered a brutal kick directly to his groin. Zhang Guangwei let out an inhuman scream and rolled on the ground, clutching himself. After venting his anger, Lin Jichen turned to the staff. "I suspect this creep injected drugs into the wine. Please help me collect evidence." The staff froze. Drugs? Something like that. After snapping back to reality, they immediately called the police. Lin Jichen then stepped in front of Zhang Guangwei. "Zhang, everything you try to do to my sister is recorded. Are you turning yourself in, or should I drag you there?" Hearing this, Zhang Guangwei endured the pain and begged desperately. "I'll go myself. I'll go right now." With solid evidence against him, he knew escape was impossible. He headed to the hotel lobby to wait for the police. Gu Qiuxue woke up and, seeing the scene in the room, turned pale with shock. Lin Jichen quickly held her and comforted her softly. Gu Qiuxue clung to him, crying. "Xiao Chun, thank you." Lin Jichen shook his head firmly. "Sis, I should be the one thanking you. You've always taken care of me. Now that I'm grown, it's my turn to repay you." The next day arrived quickly. He left the city where Gu Qiuxue lived and returned to his residence in Jiangling. As he prepared to leave, Gu Qiuxue looked at him with deep reluctance. "Xiao Chun, take care of yourself. I'll go find you soon." Although Lin Jichen was also reluctant to part from her, the update for Bahuang had already been finished for half a day. He needed to hurry back before others caught up to his progress. He entered the game pod, and his consciousness linked back into the world of Bahuang. Moments later, Lin Jichen awoke from his secluded cultivation. The system prompted, "Breakthrough, Qi refining stage late. All basic stats plus 10. HP 1, Mana 1. Hearing the notification, he felt delighted. "Nice. I've made solid progress during the update downtime. Already at late Qi refining. Right, I still haven't checked the loot that dropped from that blood infant." Thinking of this, he immediately opened his storage ring. Ding. Spiritual grade item. Chilua Parasol. Comes with the skill Shelter. Links to one teammate within 20 meters, restoring 100 HP per second for 20 seconds. Interrupted when taking damage. Spiritual grade skill, Bloodbat Echo. Reduces all enemies' movement skill effectiveness within 300 meters by 30%, lowers skill hit rate by 10%, and inflicts continuous Bloodbat shadow attacks for 15 seconds. Heaven and Earth Treasure, Buried Sandbone. Originally an ordinary beast bone, but after absorbing Earth essence beneath the sands for a century, it transformed, hard as iron with stone spikes. Function: when a Qi refining stage cultivator attempts to break through to the foundation stage. Using this treasure greatly enhances their attributes. All three items were good, but the buried Sambone was exactly what he needed. With his fate-defying talent, he could only choose the path of Heavenly Tao Foundation establishment. But the requirements were harsh. Not only 3 heaven and earth treasures, but also 6 spirit pearls of different attributes: fire, water, lightning, wind, earth, and wood. Though he hadn't reached the foundation stage yet, he needed to start preparing now. He stored the items away and glanced at the steel-eating beast snoring loudly nearby. He smacked its big head. "Get up. Time to work, you lazy bear." Awakened from deep sleep, the steel-eating beast was furious. It rolled over and spoke to him through spiritual intent. "This bear is hungry. Can't walk." Lin Jichin mocked without mercy. "You just ate not long ago, and you're hungry again? You bottomless bucket." Hearing this, the beast's temper flared. "That's not what you promised me before." Lin Jichin raised an eyebrow and replied coldly, "Did I? Don't make things up." The steel-eating beast immediately mimicked him in a mocking tone. "What did you? Don't make things up." Before the words finished echoing, a prompt appeared. "Ding, your pet, the steel-eating beast, has lost 10 loyalty. Current loyalty, 90. Only then did he remember pets even had a loyalty system. Lin Jichin held his forehead in regret. Below 70, a pet might disobey orders. Below 50, it could even revolt. He had completely forgotten. Realizing things were turning bad, he quickly changed his tone. "I was joking. Would your master ever treat you like that? I woke you up so I could take you to eat." The steel-eating beast huffed toward the door. "Then hurry." On the way to get food, Lin Jichin checked the update logs and saw the biggest change in Bahuang was the addition of new secret realms. For now, only 3 were updated: the solo secret realm Nightmare, the party's secret realm Cave of Ghost Abyss, and the team's secret realm Corpse King Valley. All 3 were designed for the Chi refining stage, each with 5 difficulty levels: easy, normal, hard, extreme, and hell. Lin Jichin planned to clear the Nightmare realm first. It held materials needed for breaking through to the foundation stage, and also the highly sought-after Nightmare set. Tempting enough, the other 2 realms could wait. As he pondered, several figures suddenly stepped in front of him. He glanced up, spotting inner hall disciples of the Sword Sect, all at the foundation stage. Their leader glared at him with arrogance. "So you finally came down the mountain. My name is Wang Xuanhuang. I challenge you." The Sword Sect had a rule. Disciples may challenge anyone whose cultivation is not more than 1 major realm above their own. As long as there wasn't a special reason, injury, missions, secluded cultivation, the challenge party must accept. This maintained the sect's constant advancement. Only by doing so could the Tianyin Sword Sect become the #1 sect in Mushin Prefecture. After hearing their explanation, Lin Jichin raised an eyebrow. "And why should I waste my time fighting you? What good does it do for me? Win or lose, what difference would it make?" Wang Xuanhuang sneered at him. "Scared, aren't you? If you want benefits, sure, bet your pet or your sect contribution points. That's how our Sword Sect duels work. But your contribution points are 0. If you lose, they'll go negative. You prepared for that?" Contribution points going negative meant being expelled from the sect. Just then, a sweet voice called from afar. It was senior sister Nangong Yu. "Junior brother, don't worry about him. I have 60,000 contribution points. More than enough." Hearing this, Lin Jichin smiled, secretly pleased. Indeed, being supported felt wonderful. Wang Xuanhuang wanted to curse him as a pampered pretty boy, but one glance at Nangong Yu made him swallow it. He turned to his brothers instead. "Guys, we live for pride, right? Help me gather some points. I'll pay double later." Soon, he collected their contribution points, totaling 1. Meanwhile, at the sect sword duel arena, where disciples sparred and tension ran thick, players and NPC disciples gathered to earn contribution points through duels. The sect not only allowed this culture, but encouraged it, which was why the Sword Sect produced so many experts. A voice announced from the arena, "Outer Hall, Disciple Chun Yuan wins this round." The crowd whispered, "Chun Yuan is insane. That's 8 wins in a row, right?" "Yeah, undefeated. And he's only at late Chi refining, with the innate talent sword Maniac, ranked 3rd on the talent list. I bet he'll be the strongest in the Tianyin Sword Sect someday." Chun Yuan stepped down from the stage, smiling confidently. Then the sub-hall Grand Elder approached, smiling broadly. He was a robust, middle-aged man in a dark blue robe, bearing some resemblance to the Tianyuan Grand Elder. He said, "I am Nangong Wu, head of the sub-hall. I've seen your talent in swordsmanship. Exceptional. I wish to take you as my direct disciple. Do you accept?" Chen Yuan never imagined the Grand Elder would take him as a disciple. Overjoyed, he bowed deeply. Disciple is honored beyond words. "Master, please accept my bow." Just then, a soft and sweet voice sounded behind them. "Dad." The moment Chen Yuan saw Nangong Yu, he froze completely, love at first sight. Nangong Wu showed a gentle smile and said, "You are what brings you here?" And Nangong Yu replied with a playful grin, "I came to cheer for my little junior brother." Thinking she meant Chen Yuan, Nangong Wu said, "How did you know?" "I just accepted Chen Yuan as my new disciple." "Good, good. Let me introduce you to." Chen Yuan, blushing furiously, hurried forward. "Senior sister, your junior brother Chen Yuan greets you." Nangong Yu frowned. "Dad, you've misunderstood. I wasn't talking about him. I meant junior brother Lin." Right at that moment, Lin Jichen and Wang Xuanhuang's group arrived. Nangong Wu's expression cooled as he examined Lin Jichen. His instincts as a father told him that this boy and his daughter were far from ordinary senior-junior relations. This brat somehow charmed Yuer in just a few days. Perfect. He would have him spar with his new disciple Chen Yuan and see what the boy was truly capable of. At Nangong Wu's signal, Chen Yuan stepped forward, eyes burning with fighting spirit. "Lin Jichen, I wanted to challenge you for a long time." Lin Jichen hadn't even fought Wang Xuanhuang yet when another challenger appeared, and this one was the first sword god of Bahuang in his previous life. He waved a hand. "Sorry, I don't have time, because I've already accepted his challenge." Nangong Wu's eyes lit with interest. "Isn't that Wang Xuanhuang from the foundation stage? His cultivation is higher than yours. You can refuse if you want." Wang Xuanhuang's heart tightened. The sword sect did have such a rule. If someone stronger challenged a weaker disciple, the weaker one could refuse. He hadn't mentioned it on purpose, afraid Lin Jichen would decline the duel. Now that he knew, this might be over. But unexpectedly, Lin Jichen didn't back out. Instead, he smiled. "I know that, but since senior brother Wang insists on delivering contribution points to me, I'll reluctantly accept." Nangong Wu felt the kid was going too far. So young, yet so arrogant. What on earth did Yuer see in him? Worse, Nangong Yu was looking at Lin Jichen with full trust and affection, making her father even more displeased. He didn't stop them. He simply waited for Lin Jichen to embarrass himself. Moments later, the two stepped onto the central platform. Wang Xuanhuang smirked, still not taking Lin Jichen seriously. "Since junior brother Lin is so confident, then I, Wang Xuanhuang, shall teach you a lesson." Before the words fully left his mouth, his sword moved and his figure blurred, appearing right in front of Lin Jichen. Lin Jichen had no intention of sitting still. He used Phantom Step, vanishing from sight instantly. When he reappeared, he was already behind Wang Xuanhuang. Realizing something was wrong, Wang Xuanhuang spun around to defend, but he was still a step too slow. Lin Jichen's sword thrust directly into his back. Landing the strike, he immediately widened the distance. Wang Xuanhuang's expression twisted. "That was because I was careless." With a shout, his aura surged as he activated the martial skill Heart Shatter Mirage. A purple sword chi shot toward Lin Jichen like lightning. But Lin Jichen was already prepared. He flicked Wang Xuanhuang's sword aside and followed with the technique Frost Moon Slash. Damage numbers in the thousands burst off Wang Xuanhuang's body. His figure flew uncontrollably off the stage, crashing to the ground covered in wounds. A miserable defeat. Winner of this match, Lin Jichen. When a match result was announced, Nangong Yu jumped with joy and proudly asked Nangong Wu, "Junior brother one, Dad, what else can you say now?" Nangong Wu's eyes hardened. Lin Jichen's performance exceeded his expectations. His silly daughter had completely fallen for him. With that thought, he flicked his sleeve and left in frustration. The entire duel video was recorded and uploaded online. It instantly caused an uproar, and the forums exploded with discussion. Lin Jichen's popularity surged again as a result. After watching Lin Jichen fight, Chen Yuan couldn't calm down. He wasn't even confident he could last 10 moves against him, and a sense of defeat rose within him. But Chun Yuan quickly composed himself. With firm eyes, he walked up to Lin Jichin and said, Chun, admit that today I'm not as strong as you. But I believe it won't be long. I will catch up to you. Just wait." Leaving those words behind, he turned away. Watching his retreating figure, a trace of admiration appeared on Lin Jichin's face. This was a man who had been hailed as the #1 sword god of Bahuang in his previous life. No wonder he reached the peak. That pride and mindset alone were more than enough. But now, reborn and walking the sword path himself, the title of #1 sword god was not something Lin Jichin would hand over. Nangong Yu stepped forward, smiling brightly as she praised, "Junior brother, your strength has improved again. Not bad at all. Worthy of being my junior brother." Hearing this, Lin Jichin chuckled and said, "It's mainly because senior sister is too strong. If I don't push myself, won't I always need you to protect me?" Nangong Yu pretended to be displeased and said, "What's wrong with senior sister protecting you? Are you disliking your senior sister now?" Lin Jichin quickly leaned forward to explain, "Of course not. I just hope that one day it'll be my turn to protect senior sister, shielding you from the wind and rain, clearing all obstacles. By then, I'll also have the confidence to face your father and grandfather." Hearing that, Nangong Yu's face instantly flushed bright red. She thought Lin Jichin was implying he wanted to propose to her father. Actually, cultivation level doesn't matter. As long as I like someone, I believe Grandpa and Dad will support me, she said while nervously fiddling with the corner of her clothes. Looking at the breathtakingly beautiful girl before him, Lin Jichin couldn't help swallowing quietly. He suddenly remembered that a favorability above 60 allowed physical contact. Getting a little hand-holding bonus now didn't seem too excessive. But with so many people watching, he felt embarrassed to make a move. Instead, he said, "Senior sister, I'd like to invite you to Funkus City, to listen to music, watch plays, admire flowers and the moon. Would you be willing?" Nangong Yu's eyes trembled, her face turning crimson. She instantly understood his intention. Wasn't this a date? So sudden. I mean, I could. But Dad is returning to the inner hall these 2 days. I might not be able to leave. Seeing hope, Lin Jichin immediately encouraged her. "It's fine. Just say you're going on a mission." Nangong Yu grew even shyer and avoided his gaze. "Oh, okay. Then I'll go back first. I'll come find you when it's time." With that, she quickly ran home. Lin Jichin felt delighted. He was going on a date with senior sister. How exciting. Just after stepping down from the arena, Su Wanling arrived with her teammates. "Master Lin, your strength is insane. Even late foundation stage disciples can't beat you." Lin Jichin politely replied, "It's nothing. What's the matter?" Su Wanling got straight to the point. "Our Moonshadow Guild wants to ask for your help clearing the hard mode dungeon, Corpse King Valley." After hearing this, Lin Jichin shook his head and directly said he couldn't do it. Hearing that answer, Su Wanling panicked. "Wait, why? You can name any price." Lin Jichin explained calmly, "Corpse King Valley is a raid-type dungeon with over 100 players. It doesn't rely on individual strength, but the team's average level. Everyone needs to be at least mid-tier refining stage to clear it. Even if I go now, it's useless. You should enhance your team's strength first." Su Wanling didn't doubt him. "Then, can we clear Night Cavern Ghost Ridge?" Lin Jichin paused. "Ghost Ridge? Harder, but doable." Su Wanling's eyes lit up. "Then guide us. Name your terms." Lin scratched his head. "Is your guild leader coming?" Su Wanling immediately became alert. "Of course she is." "Why?" "Lin Jichin, are you trying to flirt with our leader?" She warned him again. "You better not have any improper thoughts. If her father finds out, you're done for." Lin smirked innocently. "Relax. What's the worst he can do? Kill me. I just want to borrow some spirit stones." Right then, Wang Jinghao, leader of Eternal Guild, walked over enthusiastically. "Brother Lin, finally found you. Help me clear a dungeon. I'll pay 3 million. Lin didn't want to help him, but it wasn't a good time to make enemies. He pulled Su Wanling forward. Too late. I already promised my girlfriend. I'm helping her first." He added sweetly, "Right, darling? You said if I carried you through the dungeon, you'd meet me offline." Su Wanling froze awkwardly but still nodded. Wang Jinghao frowned. "Weren't you about to get married? You even sold gear to save money." Lin cursed internally. He forgot that lie. He sighed dramatically. "Can't help it. A rich beauty is chasing me." I stopped trying and dumped my fiancée. Then he dragged Su Wanling away and teleported out. Wang Jinghao was furious. Again, that woman, blocking me twice. Just wait. Later, Lin followed Su Wanling to the entrance of Night Cavern Ghost Ridge. The place was packed. Players filled a 10-mile radius like a massive marketplace. She led him through the crowd. A group of gorgeous girls stood ahead, with Jiang Liu in the center, radiant and eye-catching like the moon among stars. Jiang Liu greeted him warmly. "Mr. Lin, thank you for coming. Please state your conditions." Lin didn't hold back. 3 conditions. First, I command the entire run. You follow my calls. Second, all sword cultivator gear and Heavenly Dao foundation materials belong to me. Third, personal request. I want to borrow spirit stones. How much can you lend? Jiang Liu frowned slightly. Spirit stones were precious, currently worth 1:180 against cash. Lin added, "Don't worry. I'll repay 130% within 5 days." Jiang Liu considered and nodded. "I'll lend you 50,000. Lin received the transfer immediately. He smiled. "Perfect. I'll repay on time. Let's clear the dungeon." She then invited him into the party and made him the leader. Night Abyss Ghost Ridge was a 5-player team dungeon. The other 2 members were a mid-stage, chi-refining healer named Chao Shuriying and a late-stage, chi-refining body cultivator named Li Jinzi. Lin Jichen then led them toward the entrance of the secret realm. A ranking board hung at the entrance, listing each major guild's progress in the Ghost Ridge. Most of them had only cleared hard mode, but the mode he chose for the team was hell mode. As soon as they entered, Su Wanling screamed, "Why is it hell mode? Master Lin, did you pick the wrong one?" He shook his head with a light grin. Ghost Ridge isn't actually difficult. What's hard is teamwork in the details and surviving the elite monsters' rotation attacks. Fix those 2 issues, and the dungeon becomes easy. Just follow me and don't fall behind. I'll get you through. With that, he took the lead. Soon they reached a mass grave. Energy drifted all around. The night wind was cold enough to sting. Bones were scattered everywhere. A torn white lantern hung from the hut's eaves. The wind pushed it back and forth with a creaking sound, and the dim flame inside flickered on and off, making the whole scene unnervingly oppressive. Chao Shuriying, timid by nature, was terrified at the sight. "Wanling Jia, this place is so scary. I hate horror stuff." Su Wanling comforted her. "We're here with you. Just think of it as watching a movie. None of it's real." Then Jiang Liu suddenly said, "Wanling, there's a human hand by your foot." Su Wanling jumped up on the spot. "Help! President, you're bullying me. So mean." She protested, while Jiang Liu flashed a mischievous grin. "Ha, look how scared she got." Lin Jichen could only sigh inwardly. Were they clearing a dungeon or sightseeing? After passing the mass grave, the group approached the hut. From within, a hunched man, withered, foul-smelling, dressed in rags, slowly stepped out. His appearance was strange. One empty eye socket, a crooked mouth, a slanted gaze, and scars all over his face. Seeing him, Su Wanling and Chao Shuriying screamed and clung tightly to each other. The gravekeeper rasped, "Another 5 here to die. Leave now, before you throw away your lives. This ridge is far too dangerous. Besides me, the gravekeeper, no one stays alive here." The girls grew even more frightened. Even the body cultivator hid behind Su Wanling, while Jiang Liu remained calm. She truly wasn't scared. Lin Jichen didn't bother responding. He simply ignored the gravekeeper and continued walking up the mountain. Just then, the gravekeeper called out to him. "Wait, young man. If you insist on going, could you do me a favor?" Lin Jichen chuckled and looked at him. "Go ahead." He thought, finally he's getting to the point. In his previous life, he wasted a long time chatting with this old man, only to realize that ignoring him would make him reveal the quest much faster. The gravekeeper then issued the quest. 20 years ago, my wife was killed by a vengeful spirit here. I became the gravekeeper, hoping to find something she left behind. Unfortunately, my strength is too weak to climb the mountain. If you find a white handkerchief up in Ghost Ridge, please bring it to me. I'm willing to give you 2 mystic-grade equipment pieces. Lin Jichen smirked playfully and agreed. "All right, we'll take the quest. 2 mystic-grade items for 1 white handkerchief. Anyone would accept without hesitation." After speaking, the gravekeeper hunched his way back toward the mass grave. "Thank you. I'll be waiting at the foot of the mountain. Lin Jichin then led his 4 teammates forward. As they headed toward the highest ridge, cold winds suddenly swept through. Ghostly figures began drifting out from all directions. After spotting the living, they lunged at the group like starving wolves. Su Wanling turned pale and screamed, "What the? Why are there so many ghosts? There must be dozens." Jiang Luoyu said, "This is hell mode. No way the ghost count is low. Everyone, prepare for combat." She raised her staff, chanted, and unleashed Firebird art, burning the nearby spirits into shrieking ashes. The body cultivator Li Jinzi was fierce. Every punch landed solidly, a pure display of brutal aesthetics. Lin Jichin's side was even simpler. No ghost could survive a single sword strike. One normal attack alone wiped out dozens. With everyone cooperating, the area was cleared quickly. But what shocked Jiang Liu and the others was, "Master Lin, what level is your luck stat?" The ghosts they killed barely dropped anything. Maybe a few spirit stones or loose coins. Meanwhile, spirit stones were piled under his feet, at least dozens, along with 3 to 4 equipment drops. He answered casually, "That's a secret." Just as he finished speaking, a massive ghost lunged toward them. He swung his sword backward, slicing it apart with ease. As the ghost dispersed, a white handkerchief floated gently to the ground. Su Wanling lit up with joy. "Yes, it dropped. It's the Gravekeeper's wife's handkerchief. Should I go turn a quest now? Even if we fail the dungeon, we'd still get 2 mystic-grade items." Lin Jichin shook his head. "No, it won't work. If that trick were viable, no one would bother clearing the dungeon. You just farm this forever." He reminded everyone that if they wanted to clear the dungeon, they needed to keep up with him. With that, the 5 of them set out again, reaching the mountainside of Ghost Ridge. The temperature there was much colder, with chilling energy swirling in the air. Suddenly, a ghastly, deep voice echoed. "My fate is so bitter. Finally, someone has come to keep me company." Following the voice, they saw a red-dressed female corpse hanging from a dead tree. Her once closed eyes snapped open, empty sockets without eyeballs, and her mouth gaped wide, letting out endless, piercing screams. Everyone tensed up immediately, readying their stances in fear of a sudden attack. At that moment, skeletal hands reached out from the ground, grabbing their ankles and trying to drag them underground. Lin Jichin's face darkened. He gripped his sword and stabbed into the soil. "You turned into a skeleton and still act up? What you broke from One Piece?" A shrill scream came from the dirt, and the skeletal hands shattering their footing collapsed instantly. He smirked and didn't bother checking on Jiang Liu and the others, instead charging straight toward the female ghost. His strike missed, the ghost vanished. When she reappeared, she was sitting on his shoulder, gently stroking his cheek. "Handsome young man, would you like to become my ghost husband? You could even become a ghost cultivator. Dual cultivate with me, and your power will rise far faster." Lin Jichin felt numb. This was the first time he'd ever been flirted with by a ghost. He punched backward. "Shut up. Only a ghost would want to be a ghost cultivator." The ghost's expression turned icy. "So little brother refuses? Then you're finished. I'll just kill you first and pull out your soul, whether you want to stay with me or not." As she spoke, her ghostly energy surged, an aura flooding outward. The next moment, waterfall-like strands of hair sprouted beneath his feet, thick like black serpents with needle-sharp tips. Seeing this, he swung his red cloud sword, slashing repeatedly and cutting all the monstrous hair apart. He then turned to the others. "You all follow me." "Understood," Jiang Luoyu responded, immediately taking command. Su Wanling, assist Master Lin in the assault. Li Jinzi, handle damage and crowd control. Chao Shuying, support the backline. Altogether, the 4 girls joined the battle at once. As a body cultivator, Li Jinzi was the first to rush toward the female ghost. She closed the distance quickly and delivered a kick, striking the ghost's head directly. The ghost was knocked off balance and sent flying toward Lin Jichin. Lin Jichin had already prepared his sword, fully charged. Seeing this, the female ghost shouted, "Don't even think about it," and her hair surged wildly, wrapping tightly around his weapon. Her hair bound his red cloud sword firmly. But at that moment, Su Wanling suddenly dashed in, slicing all of the ghost's hair with a swift strike. Before the ghost could react, Lin Jichen's red cloud sword flashed down like an afterimage, cutting her from head to torso, splitting her in two. Seeing the ghost slain, the girls cheered in relief and excitement. When they looked at the loot, they exclaimed again, "Insane. Is this all because Master Lin's luck stat is so high? So many drops. With this luck, he'd win the lottery every day. Forget lottery tickets. Opening loot in 8 desolations is way more profitable." Jiang Luoyu was the only one not overly surprised. She smiled at him. "Mr. Lin, you pick first. Even if it's not for sword cultivators. If you like it, take it." He accepted without hesitation and chose 2 items he could use: a spirit-grade Night Cavern Gauntlet and a spirit-grade sword technique, Gu Sword Chi. Spirit-grade Night Cavern Gauntlet. Strength +5, crit +3, defense +5, comes with a Palm Force skill. Spirit-grade technique, Gu Sword Chi. Every 3rd successful strike plants an additional sword energy inside the target. Like raising a Gu, it can be detonated anytime within 2 minutes, causing 150 fixed damage, stacks allowed. The group then continued toward the highest point of the mountain ridge. Upon reaching the mid-slope, they saw that heading upward would lead directly to the peak. A hunched man sat on the cliffside, enjoying the wind and moonlight. They recognized him instantly, the gravekeeper from below. So he was actually here. Seeing him, Su Wanling immediately brightened and rushed over. "Your quest. We completed it. Here's your wife's handkerchief. I brought it for you." Seeing this, Lin Jichen quickly pulled Su Wanling back. "Hold on. If you walk over now, you're basically walking to your death." Su Wanling didn't understand at first. He gestured toward the gravekeeper. "Aren't you curious? He said he'd wait for us at the foot of the mountain. So why is he here? Have you not thought about where the boss went?" Su Wanling froze for a few seconds, then suddenly realized, "You're saying the gravekeeper is the boss of the Nightshade Cavern Ridge?" Lin Jichen flicked her forehead. Not very bright, but not hopeless either. Jiang Luoyu was puzzled. If he is the boss, why would he give us a quest? Just to deceive players for fun? Lin Jichen explained, "That's the biggest trap of this dungeon. Many players died falling for it. Experienced players simply ignore his quest and start the boss fight immediately. But doing so means the female ghost can't be killed, and you miss her bonus reward." Jiang Luoyu quickly understood. "I see. Thank you, Mr. Lin. Without you, we would have lost a lot of rewards." At that moment, the gravekeeper suddenly stood up. "You're here? Did you find my wife's relic? Hand it over, and I'll give you 2 mystic ray treasures." Lin Jichen had no interest in playing along. He raised his sword and struck instantly. A flash of cold light streaked past. The gravekeeper tried to dodge, but was still too slow. His shoulder was sliced open. Realizing he was exposed, he dropped the disguise entirely. His skin shed like a chrysalis, and his limbs extended like a segmented insect. The hunched old man transformed into the Nightshade Cavern King, gripping his scepter and looking down upon them all. A mass of dense black mist burst from the scepter's tip. The mist turned into countless night crows. Darkness enveloped the sky as the crows surged like a massive tide. For Su Wanling and the other new players, it was their first time witnessing such a powerful skill. Its sheer momentum stunned them. Lin Jichen rushed forward, cutting down a portion of the incoming crows. He shouted back, "Chao Shuriying, use your skill to scatter the night crows." Hearing him, Chao Shuriying answered immediately. She cast a protective skill, shielding the girls and blocking the scattered crows around them. Lin Jichen said, "You handle the crows here. I'll take on the boss." As he finished speaking, Lin Jichen blinked forward several times, instantly appearing behind the Night Cavern Ghost King. Even though he looked frail compared to the 2-meter-tall giant, he didn't take the creature seriously at all. After all, the Ghost King was a spellcaster type, something far too easy for him to deal with. Sword in hand, he dashed forward like a shooting star. The moment he closed the distance, his voice snapped sharply as his blade struck. The Scarlet Cloud sword appeared as if from thin air, slicing across the Ghost King with a crisp flash. Once a caster is caught in melee, they can only defend and retreat passively. Empowered by his Gale Sword art, Lin Jichen's strikes grew faster and faster, sword light falling like bamboo leaves and carving wounds all over the Ghost King's body. Enraged, the Ghost King let out a furious roar. Its body dissolved in a black mist and fled backward at high speed. Lin Jichin refused to let it widen the gap. Using Phantom Step, he chased immediately while calling the girls to attack together. Jiang Liu and the others knew their basic attacks couldn't break its defense, so they wildly threw out skills: Binding Spirit Hand, Falling Stone Rain, Piercing Fist, and Fiery Slash. Their damage wasn't high, but holding the Ghost King in place for a moment was no problem. Seizing the opening, Lin Jichin activated his ultimate, Phoenix Plume. His longsword tore through the air, unleashing dozens of sword beams. The massive burst of damage also triggered a 30% silence effect. Unable to resist, the Ghost King could only suffer the blows. He summoned the Steel-Eating Beast from his pet space. The rest is yours. Finish the boss, and I'll treat you to bamboo later. He tossed the Steel-Eating Beast straight at the Ghost King. The Steel-Eating Beast's appearance instantly melted the hearts of the four girls. So cute. I want one too. Landing with a roar, the panda launched a powerful charge, completely different from its usual lazy demeanor. In full beast mode, one mighty paw sent the Ghost King to its final death. Upon dying, the Ghost King dropped a soul seed. The girls ignored the loot entirely, fully captured by the adorable Steel-Eating Beast. So cute. Let me pet you. Lin Jichin walked forward and opened the soul seed. The moment he saw what was inside, he nearly spat blood. Great. Every piece of equipment and every skill was caster type. Forget it. I'll just take the black obsidian crystal. With that and the burial sandbone, he now had 2 celestial grade materials. Only one more, and with 6 spiritual currents, he could complete his heavenly Tao foundation. At that moment, a server-wide announcement rang out. Congratulations to the Moonshadow Guild for clearing the first Hell Tier dungeon of Bahuang, Nightcry Wraith. Perfect clear rating. Reward: all members gain 1,500 cultivation points. Jiang Liu walked up to Lin Jichin and said sincerely, "Mr. Lin, thank you for helping me get so many caster-type items. I can pay for them. I don't want you to take a loss." Lin Jichin shook his head. "No need. We agreed beforehand. These drops are yours. Besides, I didn't lose anything." Seeing everything settled, he added, "If there's nothing else, I'll head out first. You should also leave quickly. After all, your guild is the first to clear the cave of Ghost Abyss. If you don't leave now, players will soon flood the entrance begging for EXP." With that, he waved and left swiftly. After being teleported out, Lin Jichin contacted Wang Jinghao on his own. He was fully prepared to scam him. Unaware of this, Wang Jinghao brightened the moment he received the message, putting on a fake smile. "Brother Lin, you were looking for me. What's the matter?" Lin Jichin arranged to meet him in Fengxiu City. As soon as they met, he pretended to feel guilty. "Brother Wang, I'm sorry I couldn't help you last time. I felt guilty ever since." Wang Jinghao gave a hypocritical laugh. "It's nothing. Finding a wife is more important for a brother." Then he added, "Since you already helped Moonshadow Guild clear it, could you help our Wancher Guild too, when you have time?" Lin Jichin sighed. "Brother Wang, it's not that I don't want to help. The problem is my sister doesn't approve. She says Wancher Guild competes too directly with Moonshadow. If I help you, she'll give me hell." Inwardly, he thought, "Wanling, President Jiang, sorry about this. I'll make it up to you later." Upon hearing this, Wang Jinghao's face darkened. He wished he could send someone immediately to deal with Su Wanling. At that moment, Lin Jichin shifted the topic. "Brother Wang, how about this? Though I can't help you clear it, I can sell you the full strategy for the Cave of Ghost Abyss. I'm not asking much, just 8,000 spirit stones. How about it?" Wang Jinghao's eyes nearly popped out. Their entire guild had only saved 8,000 spirit stones. But without sacrifice, there's no reward. Gritting his teeth, he said, "Fine, I'll transfer it now." After the transfer went through, Lin Jichin happily wrote down the complete guide. The Hell Tier Cave of Ghost Abyss. The ordinary ghosts were nothing. The Ghost King was the real nightmare. Lin Jichin was certain that once Wang Jinghao entered, he'd be beaten half to death. After completing the trade, Lin Jichin carried the large amount of spirit stones and headed to Fengxiu City's biggest pharmacy, Herbal Hall, to buy corpse poison potions. "Boss lady, pack all the corpse poison potions in your shop. Everything you have, clear it all out." The boss lady's eyes lit up the moment she saw the huge bag of spirit stones he tossed out. She leaned in with a flirtatious smile. "Handsome, you sure know how to make spirit stones. How about we open a store together? If you agree, both the shop and I belong to you." Her elegant figure made Lin Jichin hesitate for a moment. A maxed-out charm stat truly unlocked unusual content. "Sorry, boss lady. That's not my ambition. Clear the mind. Clear the mind. I must become the strongest sword cultivator." Seeing him refuse, the boss lady showed a hint of disappointment. With a sigh, she turned around, then sneakily slapped his butt. "Fine then. I'll go pack your corpse poison potions. Wait for me, handsome." After the purchase, she looked at him reluctantly. "Come visit again, handsome." Lin Jichin simply waved with a smile. "I will." He then swept through every pharmacy in the city, buying out all remaining corpse poison potions. By the end, he had stocked over 200,000 bottles. Other players still didn't know these elixirs were the key to clearing Corpse King Valley. Without them, anyone affected by corpse poison midway would surely fail. Once players realized this, he would resell the elixirs at a high price, making another fortune. His cultivation was full now, but he still lacked the 6 elemental essences needed for foundation establishment. Time to gather materials. With that in mind, he traveled overnight to the first essence zone, Blazing Flame Grounds, a region of active volcanoes. Lava burst endlessly from the cave mouths, and the moment he stepped in, scorching heat washed over him. Ordinary creatures couldn't survive here, but for fire attribute beasts and cultivators of fire-based techniques, it was a blessed land. Just then, a strange bug, rabbit-sized, covered in red armor, shot out from the rocks. Its 2 fiery pincer arms swung as it lunged forward. Lin Jichin was ready. He sidestepped instantly. With a single strike, he chopped off both of its prized pincers, realizing it had encountered a monster of a man. The fire pincer bug ditched its dangling pincers and bolted. Lin Jichin rushed after it and delivered 2 finishing strikes. The bug died on the spot. From its soul seed, he obtained 2 spirit stones and a fire essence fragment. These fragments contained a small amount of fire essence. Collect 50 to form a complete fire essence. Though synthesized essences were usually of lower purity, he stored the fragment away, planning to sell it later. After searching around, Lin Jichin found a hidden cave. To obtain high-purity fire essence, he needed to defeat the boss of this blazing flame zone. "Hey, you weasel inside, come out and die already." As soon as he shouted, a red glow burst from within the cave. A fox with 3 flaming tails shot out, furious. "Bastard, who are you calling a weasel?" "Ding, 3-tailed fire fox." "Boss, strength, late cheer refining stage. Skills, flaming tail burst, sharp fox claws, fox's triple burrows." After reading its stats, Lin Jichin chuckled. Didn't expect this weasel to actually look so much like a fox. Enraged beyond reason, the fire fox launched its ultimate attack. With a whip of its tails, 3 fireballs shot out, surrounding him from 3 angles. As the flames neared, they exploded into towering infernos, trying to swallow him whole. But his speed was far too fast. The flames couldn't even touch him. "I complimented you saying you look like a fox, and you get mad? You even try to burn me? You're asking for it." His figure flashed like lightning, sword gleaming coldly, aimed directly at the fox's throat. The fire fox reacted, channeling power into its claws. 3 slashing arcs formed instantly, cutting toward him. Lin Jichin dodged sideways and kicked off the incoming claws. His blade twisted, releasing 3 spinning wind and fire wheels, striking straight into the fox's abdomen. The fox howled in pain and fell. It roared again, shifted back to its true form, and charged at him desperately. Lin Jichin sneered and pulled out the steel-eating beast. "Panda Cub, this one's your meal. You haven't evolved into a full herbivore yet, right? Steel-eating beasts eat anything. Go." The fire fox wasn't his opponent to begin with, and now there was also a hungry panda. Realizing it couldn't win, it tried to flee. But Panda Cub, starving for days, wasn't about to let edible prey escape. It chased relentlessly and swallowed the fox whole. After the fight, it sat down and burped loudly. "Satisfied now?" Lin Jichin asked. The fire fox dropped a hybrid soul seed, a fire essence of 100% purity, and a fire fist martial manual. Pleased, Lin Jichin packed everything and continued searching for the remaining 5 essences. Just then, the phone outside the gaming pod started ringing. Lin Jichin had to temporarily log out. On the other end came Renlan's familiar laugh. Haha, Lindsay, our school is on break. Come help me move my stuff. I'm staying at your place until the new semester. He agreed, hung up, and headed out immediately. Since Renlan, the fitness maniac, was moving in, he could finally ask her to make him a proper workout plan. Hopefully he could improve his physical abilities within 5 years. After all, the world would drastically change in the next few years, and humanity would enter an era of war. Peace would no longer exist. As soon as he went downstairs, she was already there waiting. Why are you so slow? I can't wait to get back and play with my gaming pod. He ran over. How are you so fast? Weren't you at school? Renlan replied, yeah, but it's close by, so I just walked here. The luggage is all yours. He smiled helplessly and took her suitcase. The moment he pulled it, he froze. What the hell? Why is this so heavy? It was filled entirely with fitness equipment, at least 100 kilos. Once they reached the room, he asked, did you tell your parents? They won't come drag you home, right? Renlan said, nope. I told them I'm traveling with a girlfriend. She'll cover for me. He still felt uneasy. That's what you say. But if your parents find out, I'm dead. While they joked, Renlan had already logged into Bahuang the game. Stop dawdling. Lindsay, teach me how this game works. He briefly explained the differences between the 4 classes. After she chose her hairstyle and face, she entered the beginner interface. Goddess NPC floated toward her as part of the tutorial. Mortal, I shall guide you onto the path of cultivation. Seeing Goddess NPC, Renlan's eyes sparkled with excitement. She's so beautiful. With no expression, Goddess NPC spoke slowly. Receive my blessing. A beam of light fell upon Renlan. She surged, her physique rising instantly. Congratulations, innate talent obtained. Immovable Vajra. You may now choose your birthplace. Staring at the 4 continents on the map, Renlan had no idea which one to pick. At this moment, Lin Jichin appeared and explained, choose based on your class. Yongning is best for spell cultivators, Yuehua for healers, Muxian for artificers, and Huafeng for body cultivators. When she saw him, Renlan's eyes lit up. Lindsay, your ancient-style outfit is pretty good. Lin Jichin smirked proudly and asked about her talent. She blinked and displayed immovable Vajra, maxed-out bone aptitude, +5 attack and +5 defense per realm, body cultivation skill damage +10%, body cultivation potential +20%. Lin Jichin was utterly stunned. What kind of luck is this? This is basically the chosen one of body cultivation. In his past life, only 2 people ever had immovable Vajra, ranked 3rd and 7th on the heavenly list. He didn't expect Renlan to start this strong. Not bad. Promising. After hearing the details, Renlan instantly chose the body cultivator class. She loved solving problems with her fists. So what now? Do I do the novice quest? She asked. Lin Jichin waved. No rush. Come with me to Fengxiu City first. We'll sell some items for spirit stones and get you equipment. He took her to a pharmacy in Fengxiu City. The entrance was packed. Most players were trying to buy corpse poison potions, but every shop in the city was sold out, making players suspect a game bug. Lin Jichin lowered his voice. You too. I happen to have plenty of corpse poison potions. 8 spirit stones per bottle. How about it? He was thrilled. If they bought it, he'd earn 16 times the cost. The 2 hesitated briefly, then purchased without argument. Soon, the news that someone is selling corpse poison potions spread across the streets. Players rushed over. Don't panic. Line up. I've got plenty of stock. While he was drowning in customers, a familiar voice called out, Lin Jichin. It really is you. He turned around and saw Guojia. She spoke sweetly. I saw your name on the rankings. I didn't believe it was you at first, but you're actually good at this game. But in her mind, she was thinking, this coward Lin Jichin finally figured things out? I'll give him a little sweetness, get some free potions, then have him carry me through the game. But how could Lin Jichin not see through her thoughts? He sneered inwardly and looked at Guojia without expression. This shameless woman clearly wanted to freeload corpse poison potions. Seeing him unmoved, Jie softened her voice. Why haven't you come to see me lately? Did you miss me? Before Lin Jichen could respond, Ren Lan stepped forward. Xiao Linzi, don't forget, she kissed another man. Guo Jie's face stiffened. She grabbed Lin Jichen's hand. Jichen, did you forget what you told me? Didn't you say your heart belonged only to me? Why are you playing the game with Ren Lan? Before she finished, Ren Lan wrapped an arm around his neck and pulled him into her chest. Sorry, whatever he told you is all in the past. From now on, please stay away from him, because he's my boyfriend. The move caught Lin Jichen completely off guard. He almost lost his breath, but the soft, bouncy, overwhelming thing pressed against his cheek made him instantly forget the pain. Painful yet blissful. Ren Lan's declaration stunned Guo Jie. Ren Lan, I know your dad is the principal, but I'm not afraid of you. Jichen and I haven't broken up. He's my boyfriend. Watch your. Lin Jichen cut her off with a cold laugh. We're finished. Guo Jie froze, immediately switching to a heartbroken expression. Jichen, why? He replied coldly, why? You seriously don't know? While dating me, you flirted with Su Ziquai every day and even gave him lollipops you had sucked on. Did you think I wouldn't know? Guo Jie trembled, trying to explain. Jichen, it's a misunderstanding. Please listen. He pulled out photos and shoved them toward her. The evidence is right here. Nothing to explain. Her face turned pale as she fell silent. Then he wrapped an arm around Ren Lan. Also, correction, I'm not her boyfriend. I'm her darling and fiancé. We're getting married soon. Ren Lan blushed instantly. Xiao Linzi, she waved Guo Jie away. Go cool off somewhere else. Don't get in the way of us, husband and wife, making money. The surrounding onlookers immediately joined in, throwing things her way. Yeah, go somewhere else. Don't get in the way of us buying potions. Guo Jie's expression shifted from red to green repeatedly before she finally stormed off. Fine, Lin Jichen, Ren Lan, I'll remember this. Just you wait. Night soon fell. Lin Jichen had earned quite a lot today, but he also wasted an entire day. At this rate, his efficiency was far too low. He handed Ren Lan several spirit stones. Buy yourself some gear, then head to Huafeng Continent to do the beginner quests. Don't take those random newbie tasks in the village. Go straight to the boxing hall. There's a chance waiting for you. After giving instructions, he walked toward the center of Fengxiu City. The entire Muxian continent was under the Qianlong royal clan, and with his reputation, he might be able to request a plot of land to open a pharmacy. After all, in 5 years, property prices in Bahuang would surpass those in the real world. Buying early mint guaranteed profit. While he was planning, a distant cry for help rang out. Help! He turned toward the sound and saw a richly dressed girl running toward him in panic. Ji Tongyin ran desperately while shouting, Cultivator, I am a princess of the Qianlong royal clan. Please carry a message to Fengxiu City. Tell my father that the ones who tried to kill me were from the Nether Soul Hall. He will surely reward you. Ding! Opportunity triggered. The princess of the Qianlong royal clan is asking Lin Jichen for help. Accept? Hearing the prompt, Lin Jichen's eyes lit up. He remembered a storyline in Bahuang about a Qianlong princess who was hunted by demonic cultivators and ultimately died a tragic death. He frowned. Why would a royal princess be wandering here alone in the middle of the night? Tears welled up in Ji Tongyin's eyes. We were ambushed by demons. In the chaos, I was separated from my guards, so I just kept running. Before she finished, Lin Jichen stepped forward and shielded her behind him. A large group of black-robed figures burst from the forest, their auras completely concealed, each one sinister like a specter. Lin Jichen shouted, Demonic cultivators! You dare hunt down a Qianlong princess? Tired of living? The leader sneered. Arrogant insect. Do you even know who you're facing? Since you insist on playing the hero, today will be your death anniversary. Without hesitation, Lin Jichen snorted. Come then. He drew out his primordial spirit talisman and raised it toward the sky. The instant it activated, the entire forest warped. Thunder roared as a terrifying aura descended. The black-robed pursuers froze. The pressure alone made their hearts clench and their breathing falter.